Okay, welcome to the bracket episode 138. Today we're debating a very simple, easy topic, one that we were talking about a little bit after the Vince Vaughn appearance on Hot Ones, talking about R-rated comedies. Today we're going to be doing a bracket of the best comedies of the 21st century. We're not limiting it to R-rated. We're going to be doing all of them, but a lot of them, a decent chunk of them are R-rated. A few of them at the very least. Chicago's doing the Olympics thing today, so we have a all New York crew. We got Rico, Bosco, Feits, Tommy, Glenny, Robbie Fox, and also we will have Marty, who will be here soon. But before we get to all that, let's talk about Game Time.
Put it back in the same place, Rico.
What'd you drop? Immediately.
Phone just keeps sliding off this fucking chair.
Jesus Christ. Let's talk about Game Time. Did you know that you can get tickets to Sticks, Foreigners with Sticks?
Oh, baby.
At August 16th, $39 in Orange Beach, Alabama.
Oh my God, I'm going to be there that weekend.
In Orange Beach?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
That could have been possible. You've been on like nonstop out of the office on these tours. But that recommendation specifically from Stanko, who's in our control booth today. Yeah. I said, name the most random band you could possibly think of. And he said, how about Styx? And I couldn't remember the songs, but I didn't realize. Renegade?
Styx is one of the greatest American rock and roll
Styx
bands,
has a
but
couple,
they only got
yeah.
a bad rap because critics are cynical assholes. That's what Frankenstein says in
Daddy.
Big Daddy, yeah.
I'm going to admit something. I had a feeling that every week when you list an absurdly random event, it was like you doing that. But in the off chance it was like part of the Game Time read, I never wanted to call it out.
Oh, no.
I'm glad to know now it's
Also, for the record, that event, Foreigner, is low-key one of the best American bands ever. Foreigner has bangers on top of bangers. That's
I was going to say, when I think Foreigner, I think Glenny Ball.
Yeah, I love Foreigner. Head Games, Cold, Hot Blooded, Dirty White Boy,
Box Hero.
I Want to Know What Love Is, Jukebox Hero.
There was something there.
What?
But Styx, I didn't know they did Mr. Roboto and Renegade and Come Sail Away. That's like 3 random songs. Really good.
Come Sail Away is an all-time, the beginning of the first episode of Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Where he goes out to the dance and he's like, he hears the slow song come on, so he's like, all right, this is my opportunity to ask the girl to dance with me.
Yeah.
And it kicks into the fast part. He's like, fuck.
And then that kid ended up writing Game Night, which might have
Game Night, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. Which might end up being on here, maybe not. But again, shout out to Game Time. Did you know that you can get tickets to whatever you want, or like, and in this case, Foreigner for Sticks, where it's $39? That's right. Thanks to Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy all the tickets to sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. Bob, you used Game Time to go to Green Day yesterday, right?
I did.
How was it?
Amazing. They played Dookie and American Idiot front to back. A concert of a lifetime thanks to Game Time.
Shout out thanks to Game Time. They
I'm
got.
thinking about going to a Yankee game this weekend with Game Time.
We love Game Time here. Again, flash deals for sudden discounts, zone deals when you're feeling flexible, and the lowest price guarantee means that you can find the same seats for anywhere else for less. Game Time will credit you for 110% the difference. They're the best place for last minute seats for up to 60% off your favorite events. Take the guesswork out of buying of tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BRACKET for $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Again, we're doing what is the best comedy from the 21st century. This was, I think, the hardest one I've ever had to see. Usually it's a little bit easy, like, oh, I can be a little bit cheap here or throw one here. It doesn't really matter. It was legitimately very hard.
Yeah.
It was a very difficult one to put together.
I hope we've all seen.
That's where it's going to get dicey.
There's going to be, no doubt, there's going to be somewhere, and this is in every episode of the bracket, there's going to be something you haven't heard of, or haven't watched, whatever. But I would guarantee that you've heard at the very least of all of these, or seen maybe bits of it. Starting out with the number 5 seed versus the 12 seed, the 5 one was a very difficult one to figure out how to seed. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, a very difficult one to figure out where to put, because we talked about this a little bit, Rob Fox. It's like the best, it's the funniest romantic movie, but also the most romantic funny movie.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very difficult to figure out where to put it. And that's going up against number 12 seed, probably the newest one on this list, not to tip too much, 21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street, super fucking
Such a good
funny.
movie.
Lord and Miller, really, really damn funny movie. Like the lines that always stick out is the one where it's first period, you already beat up a gay kid or whatever. It's,
Never seen either one.
You've never seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall or 21 Jump
on
Street?
this bracket, dude.
Either one.
If you haven't seen either of these,
he's pulling a Rico.
you're not going to
He's
see.
pulling a Rico.
I wanted to see how many I could get. You guys fucking shut me down. I was going to go through all 30.
I mean, I saw the point as I started getting worked up. I remembered your point at me, and I was like, "Oh fuck, he's doing."
Yeah, it's all right. You remind me to never bring out a bank robbery.
Rico, let's start out with you. Forgetting Sarah Marshall or 21 Jump Street. What do you think's the
I think it's Forgetting Sarah Marshall. The way this movie was described to me, back when like trailers mattered or you would go into the movies all the time, my buddy, I was like, yeah, I wanted to see that movie. It looks pretty good. He goes, there's a guy who's not even in the trailer that steals the movie, and it's Russell Brand. So Russell Brand, absolutely. I don't think Russell Brand was in the trailer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll fact check it. Maybe we can like pull it up. The way he described it, or he said there's a guy who's like not main billing and it's Russell Brand and he absolutely steals it. It's fucking hilarious. I've seen 21 Jump Street. I thought it was good. Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a top tier movie. It's Forgetting Sarah Marshall for me. Easy.
One for Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
It's Forgetting Sarah Marshall, no brainer. I like 21 Jump Street, but
Peter, you suck.
it is
Classic.
I'm going to judge this whole thing based on whether or not the movie shows cock. And so, unfortunately for 21 Jump Street, I don't believe there's full frontal male in
God,
that.
I wish, Channing.
I believe a dick gets shot in 21 Jump Street.
I think that might be 22.
Oh, you're right.
22 though, I think.
I think what's his name?
It might be 22.
I think it's
Who's the
22.
Marine actor? I think he gets shot in the dick. Doesn't he?
Rob Riggle at the end of one gets shot in the dick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it one?
Dep reveal scene.
Yeah. No.
at the end.
After that.
At the
Where-
end.
After the
on the
limo crash.
on the street. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
You see
Yeah,
Rob
that's
Riggle's
true.
hog. It's a different story. But also, I was thinking that maybe the person who steals the movie in Forgetting Sarah Marshall and is not in the trailer is the fat Hawaiian dude. The bald
Yes.
guy.
I thought you were going to say Paul.
All right. I
Just
thought you were
passed
right.
away.
Well, but when
Literally just passed away last month.
No.
This guy.
when
He was in the first fight in UFC history as well.
really
Wait, is it the guy
Sumo
that gets
wrestler.
the foot stuck in
Yes.
the teeth stuck in his foot or something? Or
His teeth got stuck in the other guy's foot.
oh, gross.
when him and Siegel are walking away carrying the pig, and Siegel's like, "Really? Because you look like a giant baby." No, I don't. For some reason, fucking kills me every time.
2 for Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Tommy.
I'm going to go 21 Jump Street here. I love both, but I think I laughed more probably at 21 Jump Street. I think I like the mystery aspect of it too, solving a crime. I think Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill is just such a perfect comedic duo, like hot guy and dorky guy like that. It's just fun. I think there's more memorable I don't know. I'm picking it. I'm picking 21 Jump
take
Street.
it.
That's all I got.
It does have the 21 Jump Street. It doesn't have full frontal, but it does have the backstory.
Dave Franco, great. The man, you know what they do to guys like me in jail? It rhymes with grape.
The emails from the Sony leak.
Yeah.
Unbelievable with 21 Jump Street. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill just being such bros. I think Channing Tatum sent an email to the entire Sony staff. And the whole email was just caps lock, suck my dick.
They're exactly what you think. So 1 for 21 Jump Street. Glenny?
So I do think I really feel like people are going to say the opposite of what I'm going to say with Forgetting Sarah Marshall. What we were talking about earlier, I feel like better movie and funnier movie may get caught up here. I personally enjoy 21 Jump Street 1,000 times more than Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Really?
It's just a movie in general. But I do think I'm not really a big Forgetting Sarah Marshall guy either. But I feel like everyone in general will say Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a better movie, but I'm going to go with 21 Jump Street. I love 21 Jump Street. That's a movie. I'm like kind of sad that all those Sony leaks happened. If they were still making 21 Jump Streets, I would watch every single one. Like at the end of 22 Jump Street when they make all those fake movies,
ones, yeah.
I would watch every single one.
They said they were going to do a crossover with Men in Black.
They're just amazing.
I will be there no matter what.
They're amazing action comedies. They're fantastic.
Remind me what
action
happened
comedies.
with the Sony leaks again?
It was just like the emails got. It was. I don't think anything. I don't think that.
That's why they said like that's why they didn't want to
I
do
thought
it.
that was with the interview.
It was.
Sony got hacked by North Korea and they released like all their shit.
Yeah,
Because of the
I didn't think anything. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't know that halted production or anything because I thought the emails for this. There were other things that were unveiling some bad things. I think, but this was just one that it's just like a funny. I think Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum made a bet that it would make $100 million or whatever it made. And when it finally crossed that threshold, they sent an email to everyone. Just said, "Suck my dick."
Also, forget Ice Cube in 21 Jump Street is fantastic.
Great guy.
Ice Cube's fucking hilarious.
The,
Go straight to the dealer, find the supply.
The twist that it's his daughter.
That's 20. That's 22, but that's the funniest
amazing.
part.
That's 22, Jump.
Yeah.
Well, that's also another
Smith
fun
fuck the captain's daughter.
behind the scenes for that one was that when Channing Tatum read the script and they got on set, he's like, "Why is there only one camera in here?" And they're like, "Well, it's just like one shot." And he's like, "No, if I learned this news that my friend was fucking the captain's daughter, I'd go nuts." He's like, "We need cameras everywhere. I'm running around the whole office."
That is such a fucking funny
awesome.
scene. And Ice Cube was so funny in 22 Jump Street.
That's one of the funniest scenes in either movie, I think.
I think it's the funniest scene in both. Movies.
I was crying. I remember crying laughing in the theater at that.
Yeah.
As far as 21 versus Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I do think I'm going to go Forgetting Sarah Marshall. which it pains me to vote against 21 Jump Street this early, but like we haven't even mentioned Paul Rudd and Forgetting Sarah.
so funny.
He's so funny. You talk like you're from London. It's so fucking
This
funny.
is gonna be the best bracket ever. Just saying funny lines.
I know. Yeah.
That's what we used to do before the internet came out. Everyone, we'd sit in a room and we'd just fucking say lines to each other.
You were the most popular kid in school. The more lines you could recite, faster.
People never grew out of it. That's the only way they communicate.
The Dracula musical too is
Unbelievable.
Paul Rudd behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure I saw that like he was like a last minute ad and they shot it all in one day and his character didn't really have a script. They were just kind of like do what you want to do, Paul Rudd.
Really?
That's cool.
Dude, that's one of my
Not positive that's true.
I stopped wearing a watch when I moved out here. He's like, that's so cool. Yeah, my time's on my phone.
Who's the funniest person in that movie?
Jonah Hill's also really funny in Forgetting Sarah.
Like,
Yeah.
pound for pound is different, right? It's different.
I don't know. I mean, it's what's his name? The big guy from the sitcom How I Met Your Mother. Jason.
Well,
Jason Segel and
You think
Russell Brand
still,
go head to head, but I think it's for how much he's in the movie. Russell Brand,
I think
for
it's-
my money is.
I think
I'm not a
Russell
huge
Brand.
Russell Brand guy, to be honest.
That movie launched him into being overexposed. Like
I've
he
become less as time has worn on.
Yeah.
But when they came out, I didn't know anything about him.
Dude, he plays like 12 minutes and scores like 80 points.
he was in that. He did another movie with Jonah Hill that was in the same universe, right? What was
Him
it
to the Greek.
Him to the Greek, right?
So good.
Which had was it?
Yeah.
No Diddy, but P Diddy was in there.
That
right?
wasn't that
And
good.
Diddy is, for all the bad
He is
things
funny.
he's done recently, he is so fucking funny
Yeah.
in that movie.
Also, No Diddy. He's very funny, and It's Always Sunny. He has a very funny.
I
episodes in that.
was gonna bring that doctor. I forget what doctor was his name.
The Wheat Guy. Yeah.
Coming Home's a great song.
Any more accolades we want to give Diddy while we're here, we can throw him out. So, but Forgetting Sarah Marshall is going to move on. I would have voted Sarah Marshall too in place of Marty. So next up, we have the 4 seed versus the 13 seed. This is a tough one. 4 seed is Step Brothers.
Okay.
Step Brothers it was another difficult one. Like, where do you put this in the pantheon? But everyone's seen it. Everyone knows the quotes, and that's going up against number 13 seed. Definitely doesn't have the same run as Step Brothers, but Role Models. Another really good Paul Rudd movie.
Great one.
Not as popular, I would say, as Step Brothers, but a movie where it became such an oh my god, you gotta watch this underrated comedy movie that it became almost over.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's so fucking funny that you have to throw it.
That was like the last thing Sean William Scott did, right?
like more or less.
You did Goon after that?
Goon is very
It's
good.
big but funny.
Yeah,
American Wedding.
No, we didn't see that one.
that's not on the bracket. I can put up something.
Oh no, American Reunion.
No, yeah, he did American Reunion after that. American Wedding had already come out.
Yeah.
He was definitely in something recently.
He was in It's Always Sunny and very funny, but that was also, I think, before this.
What happened? Did he just get blacklisted? They just realize he's like
Stopped being like they stopped casting him and stuff. I guess I don't know.
stopped making his genre movie.
Also
I feel
true,
like, too, right?
But he was very good in both Goon movies. I think are solid. But Goon original
The
with
original is really, the second one's
Schreiber.
watchable, but yeah.
That's like my favorite. I would say, what's his name? Performance. Who's that? Who's the other guy in Goon? The Canadian actor that's friends with like Seth Rogen and all them.
Oh, Jay Baruchel?
Jay Barish. Like that and Blackberry, the only 2 things I've like really liked him in.
Yeah.
She's Out of My League. Great movie.
Yeah, my
that is a great
Out of My League was good.
I think maybe best rom-com ever.
Wow.
I love She's Out of My League.
Wow. Bob Fox.
or once I don't remember it.
Bob Fox, Step Brothers versus Role Models.
Best out of my league story.
This one is tough because Role Models, for me specifically, the fact that Kiss is a subplot in the movie, I loved so much in the scene where he's like, I didn't know Jews could sing like that. And he's like, they couldn't. That's why they dress like clowns. It's so fucking funny.
Gun is his dick,
The
Ronnie.
hysteria thing at the end when they show up as the LARP, it's amazing. But I really think like Step Brothers could like go all the way. Like Step Brothers, I've rewatched as much as any comedy ever. It's on Comedy Central all the time. I'll rewatch like the TV version that doesn't even have the curses in it because it's so funny.
Yeah.
So I have to vote for Step Brothers.
Step Brothers.
What Bob said is true. It's so interesting. I'm more historically comedy-wise. Like, I'd prefer Sandler and Seth Rogen over Will Ferrell. But
Why are you putting Sandler and Seth Rogen together?
dude, I'm just saying I like them
As
more.
separate, not
Oh,
as
got it.
together.
And I'm just saying I like them more. And I do feel like
Wait, what movie did Seth Rogen and Sandler do?
no, he's
they make movie funny people. I'm simply just saying I like their work more than fucking Will Ferrell's.
Got it.
Fucking Rico. But
It actually,
moral of the story. Yeah, nah, because I don't feel like doing the bit all day, Bosco.
Gunny's in a bad mood today. I don't want to upset him today.
he got bullied earlier. Yeah.
My dog got me some slack.
Oh, Glenny, I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I will say I feel like Step Brothers is one of those movies that is so funny. It's almost like you forget how funny it is. So I feel if you've made Step Brothers 1, I wouldn't have even been mad about it. So I just got to go Step Brothers out of respect to Step Brothers because I do feel like whenever I'm thinking about funniest movies ever, I think in the back of my brain it's so funny I don't even think about it being the funniest.
Yeah. I'll vote in place of Marty. I do think Step Brothers it was way more like one of the funniest first watch movies I think I've ever seen, and it's so fucking good. And the blooper reel alone for Step Brothers is like laugh out loud funny. But Role Models has such a deep catalog of random jokes that are hysterical. Joe Truglio in Role Models is so fucking funny. Like running every line he has is great. The little kid being like "fuck you, Miss Daisy" as they drive off.
Like you, Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
When I got out of that movie, I was like, that little kid is going to be the funniest
Star.
who's ever lived. I think he was also in Fred Claus with
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he was.
I remember being like, this kid, I was like, this is the funniest person alive. And then he kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I never really saw him again.
I wonder what he's doing now.
I'll give him a
He, honestly, though, he was perfect as the
As a
funny
kid. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I'll stick with Step Brothers just because it's just the impact of the movie is just so much heavier, but Role Models is so funny. Tommy.
Yeah, Role Models, I remember seeing in theaters, like not really having much expectations and being like, oh my God, this is so fucking funny. Like that was my introduction to Kenjac. I didn't watch Community. So like his character in that is unreal, like before The Hangover. Even Christopher Mintz, whatever. From
Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
Jane Lynch is one of the funniest.
Jane Lynch is
movies.
so good.
And I hate Jane Lynch.
You hate Jane Lynch?
I don't like her.
Where she's talking to them and she's holding a hot dog in the thing.
There's great Role Models. Ken Marino is really funny.
Ken Marino's really good in that too.
He's really funny.
That being said,
down to
it's got to be Step Brothers. Like Step Brothers came out when I was 12, which is I think the age where Step Brothers is the funniest. Like, I still think it's funny now, but you definitely when you're in like middle school, high school, it's even more funny.
Brothers 08?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah.
I was 10. My mom took me to see it, and I specifically remember my mom saying, as we were leaving the theater, she goes, "Put your head down. Somebody's going to call DYFUS." She thought they were going to call Child Protective Services
Wow,
on her for
really?
taking me to see Step Brothers.
Holy
as a
shit.
10-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. We're not going to go through all the quotes, but whatever. Good housekeeping. You know, it helps with shoulder pain if you lick my butthole. I mean, there's just so many classics.
Fucking
Got to be
Catalina wine mixer.
Step Brothers.
I was
Yeah,
watching.
we only play 80s Joel. Like
That random scene is one of the funniest ever.
it's so stupid but so funny.
Like something from the stranger. The guy's just heckling him. Like something from the stranger. Like why that's the thing, and then he steps out. That guy is underrated, like hilarious too.
Not Bobby Moynihan. What's his name?
Ratio Sands.
Ratio
Yeah,
Sands
yeah.
is underrated, hilarious. He's an SNL guy, right?
Yeah, he is. Yep.
He's fucking
Perfect.
hysterical.
It's
Bad
the
guy.
perfect like randomness.
Bad guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
not a good
really?
guy. He canceled.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
he likes to play a little below the playing field.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's funny in this movie?
Step Brothers. It's Step Brothers. I very much like Role Models. It's very funny. Step Brothers is iconic. It is. What are you doing? I'm burying you.
Them whispering in bed, too.
And like
Burying you.
the little Seth Rogen scene, like where they're interviewing in the tuxedos.
all-time
was like
fart
the
scene.
Nazis to scare people.
Yeah,
away.
I can taste it. Oh, it's.
I think it's Step Brothers, but to give like a sports analogy, Step Brothers runs a 4-4, has all the 5-star recruits like loaded, and Role Models is this little ragtag school with shitty uniforms, and they give it a run. It's like a game in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Like Role Models, you do not expect to be in this, and then you're watching the game and you're like, oh, are they gonna pull the upset here?
I like Role Models. I don't even give it. They give it like it's almost one of those like they had a game till halftime, then Alabama.
Okay.
Halftime.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Role Model. No. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say fourth quarter. Maybe they stuck with them till about half.
It's just a different,
Probably the
yeah, it's
better
a
way to
different
say it.
class.
But it's a different class. Like Role Models is not supposed to be in that. I remember seeing Role Models the same way. Scrolling one of those movie websites and being like, let me watch this, and being like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is hilarious. And the LARPing at the end, this is fucking great. Every side character in there is unbelievable.
I might rewatch Role Models tonight.
Yeah, it's been
I
a
don't
long
know
time.
I don't know if I've
I
seen.
guarantee you that's not the first time you're going to say I'm going to rewatch that tonight during the rest of this bracket episode.
Okay, right now. All right, I'm gonna make a deal. I'm gonna rewatch one of these movies tonight. So far, Role Models.
As the title,
is
as
the leader in the clubhouse.
as the belt.
Real quick, I want to add in. I said this out front back, so everyone probably already heard it. But I watched Father Figures last night. I thought that was great.
Father figures.
Terrible. I didn't look at the Rotten Tomatoes until after.
Wait, is this Bill Burr?
No, it's fucking.
That movie is bad.
Okay.
I know which one. That one was not great.
It's Owen Wilson and Ed Helms are the stars, and Glenn Close is their mom, and they find. She says who their dad is, whatever. They want to go find their dad.
Oh, yeah.
And they see it's Christopher Walken, it's J.K. Simmons,
Yeah.
it's
Ving Rhames?
Terry Bradshaw, couple other people. It was like I had a great time watching it, and I laughed throughout it. You know, never laughs such as we're doing now. But like, I was like, this was great, and I looked up at Rotten Tomatoes after. It's like 14%.
I only remember Terry Bradshaw from that movie. That's the thing I remember is Terry Bradshaw.
What was your "She's Out of My League" story you referenced really quick?
Oh, she's out of my league. So I'll be quick with it. But it was it was one summer I was living in Newport. We would always get movies at Redbox, and one morning woke up like hungover still. Got She's Out of My League. Watched it with all of us. My friend fell asleep during it. He wakes up and he's like, "How's that movie end?" And we were like, "It's actually crazy. She dies. They have a plane crash and they both die in a plane crash." And he's like, "What the fuck? That's a crazy way to move it." End that movie. I'm like, "Yeah, I know, nuts." And he'd bring it up periodically once every 2 weeks. He'd be like, "Dude, that's crazy. They ended that movie that way." And we're like, "Yeah, I know, it's nuts." And then he died. And then we were at the funeral and my buddy just hits me and goes, "He still thinks She's Out of My League ended with a
Oh
plane
my
crash."
god, that's so morbid, but that's really funny.
Did not see that curveball.
Did not see that. That was a serious fucking curveball
Like,
fight.
"Oh,
Jesus
shit,
Christ.
That's right. We never told him the fucking real ending.
Jesus.
It's dark.
All right, 8 seed versus the 9 seed as Step Brothers moves on. 8 seed is one that I think maybe got a lot more. It's similar to role models where it's like overrated to underrated type of deal. Hot Rod. Hot Rod got a lot of late.
I've not seen it.
Truthfully, I've not seen it.
Hot Rod got a very late run. You seen Hot Rod over here?
Yep.
I saw it in theaters. I haven't seen it since, so I feel like that doesn't even.
I feel like we might have to swap this out.
If it's this many people haven't seen it, I don't mind swapping it with
I'm not. I'm a so Sandberg guy. He
Andy Samberg.
What was the 9 seed?
The 9 seed is Tropic Thunder.
I also have not seen that.
You actually haven't seen Tropic
I
Thunder?
haven't seen that.
Well, we've seen Tropic Thunder.
Yep.
Tropic
Rewatched that recently.
Yeah. Well,
That might be mine tonight. Actually, I haven't rewatched that one in a while.
we could swap Hot Rod with something from the play-in game or one of the playing games. Let's swap it with, let's say, Dodgeball. How about that?
Oh,
Dodgeball 20th
Dodgeball was a
anniversary.
Dodgeball was in the
Dodgeball
play-in.
has to be on there.
So we'll swap it in for Dodgeball Hot Rod. So Dodgeball versus Tropic Thunder to go advance. Let's start with you, Rico.
I would go Dodgeball just because I've seen it, but I've heard the allure that Tropic Thunder is better. So I will vote on Tropic Thunder blind, I guess.
You can abstain.
Yeah, I'll abstain then because I haven't seen it. But I do know that Tropic Thunder has like a lot of heat behind it.
I rewatched it recently. It holds up
Yeah,
so well.
lot
It's
of
so
heat.
fucking funny.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder was always one of my. I've probably only seen it 3 to 5 times, but
It's a significant amount of time.
A lot.
oh, dude, movies I like I've seen 100 times. I didn't like it as much as everyone else does. I like it. It's funny, but I don't have the love for it that everyone else does. I will rewatch it tonight. Maybe that changes, but I have rewatched Dodgeball recently, and that really fucking holds up. So I'm going Dodgeball.
1 for Dodgeball, Tommy.
I'm going Tropic Thunder. I think even just like the story is better, like the making a movie. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. in it, obviously incredible. The Tom Cruise character is so funny. Robert Downey Jr. won an Oscar for that, or
Nominated. He lost to Heath
Nominated?
Ledger.
That's crazy.
He was nominated for that?
Get nominated for an Oscar in a comedy movie like that.
Nobody gets nominated for it. It almost makes you think they should have their own category.
Like they do
Yeah.
in Emmys and shit, like comedy.
Yeah. Why is there not? Why don't we respect comedy? Like,
I remember Michael Che after Joe Coy's bomb at the Oscars or Golden Globes had he's like, they don't respect comedy. Otherwise, fucking Eddie Murphy would have been nominated. Although I forget, he had a couple of names where he's like, they would have been nominated for their comedies, not for their
Yeah.
Dramas, yeah.
actually do.
I'm going Tropic Thunder.
1 for Tropic Thunder, 1-1 right now.
I like Tropic Thunder. I mean, I think it's a great movie, but in that little 3-year period, like 06 to 09, I don't think it holds up to the other juggernauts from that era. And Dodgeball is a fucking awesome movie. It's hilarious. It's an amazing movie. I'm sticking with Dodgeball. I like Dodgeball a lot.
I saw Dodgeball in theaters. That's a fucking.
Did you?
Dodgeball is awesome.
I saw Dodgeball in theaters as well. Was probably way too young, but my brother took me to see it, and then I just went in the backyard and remember being like, "All right, let's play Dodgeball." And my brother's 12 years older than me, so he's like, "All right, let's play Dodgeball."
White Goodman. I feel like
It is so good. I rewatched Dodgeball very recently.
I have to rewatch that.
It holds up so. Ben Stiller's character, it might be the best Ben Stiller character in any movie.
Yeah.
Like Zoolander's obviously up there as well. But like the Nobody Makes Me Bleed My Own Blood. It's like one of the most quoted things from any of these
You
movies.
see $100,000. It's not as impressive as it seems in the movies. When
Yeah.
it opens up the case.
So I gotta go. I feel the same way as Fights with Tropic Thunder. I like it, but I feel like I don't like it on the level that most people do.
Seems to be the majority feeling in this room.
True.
Yeah, I think if I were to vote,
I like it a lot.
I think Tom Cruise is hysterical in it. He's my favorite one of the
Tom
movie.
Cruise is unbelievable. And you ever hear like the story of that where he's like, he agreed to do the movie, but he's like, the only way I will do this cameo is if you let me have really giant fake prosthetic hands. He's like, that's the only way I'll do this. So they made these massive like hairy hands for him to wear as like the executive or whatever. And Matthew McConaughey, very funny in Tropic Thunder as well.
I don't remember him in it.
Wait, what is?
He's Ben Stiller's agent.
Oh yeah.
Throws the TiVo to save him at the end.
Heave up to save him. There's so many funny scenes in that, and like even Robert Downey Jr. doing the full like black scent, all that stuff is like just hysterical. And the fact that they try to like cancel him like every like 5 years when they remember it is also very funny. But either way, Dodgeball going to move on. Now we have the 1 seed versus our first playing game. First playing game options are first. Not chances of getting a vote, but I have to include it because people will crucify me if I don't add it because I think it's a hysterical movie. Hot Fuzz is very funny. Most of those English Simon Pegg movies are very funny. Just have to include it. Kung Pao, I added. That's a vanity pick by me. Kung Pao is, if you guys might have seen
Danny
it.
McBride.
Seen it.
Different movie. That's Foot Fist Away.
Kung Pao.
Kung Pao is a very funny movie where this dude, I think Steve Odenkirk, he took a old kung fu movie and he superimposed himself into it. And it's like, it's overdubbed and so it's very, very funny. Another one that got a lot of votes on Twitter and Instagram. People are talking about it. Grandma's Boy.
Very, 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 very funny.
This is the End.
Oh, that's
I hated
That
This
should
Is
be
the
on.
End. The first time I watched it, second time I thought it was the funniest movie. You ever do that for movies sometimes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first time I've ever done that.
Horrible Bosses.
Oh, good one.
Just
classic Bateman. Classic Bateman.
Speaking of classic Bateman, Game Night.
Oh boy. One of the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
That's really
That's a plain movie for me.
So to take some of the vanity ones out, we'll do Grandma's Boy, This Is the End, Horrible Bosses, or Game Night. Which one's getting through the chain? Let's start with you, Marty.
Oh my God, that's brutal.
This is go up against our 1 seed, by the way.
Horrible Bosses became like a comfort watch for me too. It's always on some cable channel or something. So I'm gonna go Horrible Bosses.
1 for Horrible Bosses.
This is really close for me between Game Night and This Is the End. I love both of those movies, and I've rewatched both of them. Like Marty said, almost like comfort movies for me at this point. I think I'm going to go Game Night because This Is the End gets a little crazy towards the end. Like once the fucking big CGI demon gets into the movie, I'm kind of over it.
I think that's why I didn't like it the first time.
Yeah.
This Is the End falls off hard and fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
And Game Night doesn't.
Everybody.
Seth Rogen,
every
Jonah
comedy.
Hill.
Kevin Hart dies in like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Is that the one where they find out something's an alien?
The world's ending, and
that's
they're all stuck at James.
If you don't know
Franco's
This Is the End now, you're not gonna know.
I'm going to go Game Night because
What's
I
the
actually
movie
think
Jonah
Game
Hill's
Night
in when it
finishes
turns
strong.
There's a,
This
that?
is the end.
Yeah.
Turns into a demon.
Yeah.
He's got these.
They're all stuck in the house together.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
Nah,
You would definitely know. If
Rihanna slaps Michael Cera after he slaps her ass.
No.
Still not.
ring a
You're
bell.
definitely not going to remember this. No.
Is this a power stance you're doing? Is this a new
I
one?
don't know. It's just comfortable.
Try something out.
I like it, to be honest. It's just I never seen
I'm
anyone do
going.
that.
I'm going Game Night. I think Game Night's hysterical. I think it's actually well written. It's a fun mystery. Jesse Plemons, one of his
Frito-Lay.
greatest roles ever. Yeah,
The Frito-Lay
how could that possibly
line
be
is-
profitable.
Yeah.
It's great.
So 1 for Horrible Bosses, 1 for Game Night.
This Is the End is probably my third favorite comedy of all time. I think it's maybe 1 on a good day. Like the idea of the movie is so fucking awesome. How it's all these real people hanging out together. Like I was 17 seeing it. I was so excited, and I also think it's the best role, the funniest role by the funniest person to ever live, Danny McBride.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride and James Franco's fight over jerking off.
Yeah.
I think it's the funniest comedy scene ever.
And with Channing Tatum at the end.
And then he's literally fucking
That's an
Channing Tate
amazing
Young.
cameo.
Yeah,
But him and Danny McBride and James Franco's fight over jerking off, I think is the funniest comedy scene of all time. It's obscene.
James Franco taking out that gun and being, I got it from Fly Boys. That's like a dumb movie thing that just really made me laugh.
And James
at the time.
Franco is so funny in it. Jonah Hill when he's fake nice is so funny in it. But Danny
The
Danny
Jonah Hill
McBride-
fake niceness is so funny.
Danny McBride is he's my favorite. And he's oh my god, I love
It's
him.
funny because this entire episode is basically like Jonah Hill being like, these references are sick, bro. Like that's like the entire episode.
The
It's the
tanning.
best references. His references are out of control. Everybody knows that.
So good.
The Tatum cameo in that, he's talked about that where he like basically agreed to do it drunk and was like still drunk when they shot it. It was basically like he got a text like, "Hey, tomorrow morning, can you come do this?" And he was like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?" And he's like, "I saw it on screen." I was like, "I probably should have done that."
If you look at him too, like he commits. He like arches his ass up.
So one each for This Is the End, Horrible Bosses, and Game Night. Tommy?
I'm like having a fucking crisis over here. I'm between Horrible Bosses, Game Night, and This Is the End. I mean, Bateman, obviously, I love Bateman. He's my favorite actor.
What's your favorite actor?
Yes, I'd probably go Horrible Bosses over Game Night, but it's between Horrible Bosses and This Is the End is so funny. It's so funny. It's as hard as I've laughed in a movie theater. The end does fall off a little bit, but those first 2/3 are like, even though I got to go This Is the End. Pains me to do that to my guy Bateman, but I got to go This Is the
I
End.
forgot how funny Colin Farrell and Kevin Spacey both are in Horrible Bosses. They are, like, for two very out of left field roles for them, hysterical.
Kevin Spacey's eerie in that.
Yeah.
And in real life.
Yeah.
Farrell when he's trimming the fat is so funny.
Yeah. The guy in the wheelchair or something, right?
Yeah. He's always rolling around. It's for me, it's between Horrible Bosses and Game Night. I love them both, but it's Horrible Bosses for Spacey, for Colin Farrell, Charlie Day,
Sudeikis?
Vegas.
Jennifer Aniston said,
Oh,
I
yeah.
got a fun story about Horrible Bosses. I wasn't there, so it's the third party. K. Marco, when it came out, K. Marco went to see it in theaters opening night, Horrible Bosses. Ended up sitting next to Gossip Girl.
Blake Lively?
Oh, but that show.
Guy?
Guy. You guy.
Penn Badgley.
Penn Badgley.
Oh.
And when Jennifer Aniston is in the tub and says, "I fucked myself to Penn Badgley last night," he got up and left.
Oh, my God.
What?
K. Marco was like, I don't know if he knew the line was in it and just wanted to go hear her say it, or if he was offended by it. I don't know why he got up and left, but like,
Weirdly
got up
enough, I
and
feel
That
like
is-
Badgley's like offended by it.
That's crazy.
He went by himself.
I don't
Penn Badgley?
remember. Obviously, it was so long ago. Like,
Yeah.
he was telling me about this on like G-Chat when I think he was still living in New York. I was living in Boston.
Or like he just went to a different theater to see another
Like,
showing.
say it
just to
again.
see-
Yeah.
to say it again.
That's what we were talking about. We're like, maybe he just knew what was coming, just wanted to hear Jennifer Aniston say, "I fucked myself to Penn Badgley last night."
She was so hot in that movie.
Honestly, I don't
Holy
think
shit.
I don't think they know that their names are used in these movies until
That could
it
get
comes
out though.
Yeah.
Like, I even asked Glenn. I asked Taylor Lautner if he knew about Entourage, all the references to him. He said, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's ruined everything for me." You would think you would know.
I have no idea.
Also, Horrible Bosses Motherfucker Jones.
Motherfucker Jones. Damn, Jamie Foxx.
It's unreal.
Damn good.
Call.
Motherfucking Jones is unreal.
Really good.
When Charlie Day saves Kevin Spacey's life, so the guy we're trying to kill was dying. He saved his life.
He's all hyped about it. Should see me out there.
Oh, fuck. So we're 2 for Game Night, 2 for Horrible Bosses, 1 for This Is the End.
Yeah, I'm irrelevant.
2, This Is the End. Smoke some with This Is the End, right?
I want This Is the
Oh, you sorry. So swap that for Game Night.
I think I'm irrelevant, but Grandma's Boy, the first time I saw that was hysterical.
You weren't irrelevant until you picked Grandma.
Yeah, no, you could not have been more relevant until you made that
It
pick.
could have been a 3-way tie, but
That one of the ones we were picking from?
Grandma's Boy just
Were we
came
picking
out.
from that?
Yeah, Grandma's Boy is one of the options.
Grandma's Boy came out at the wrong time for me, where like I was not a pothead kid, and it was one of those that's like the pothead kids obsessed over, and you're just like, fucking shut up about.
Oh yeah, I watched it with a bunch of people who were high. I was not. But
Yeah.
I thought it was some of the scenes where it's like, how did he see me?
The JP characters is so
Yeah, he's really, really good. Swartzen, never really like blew up, but he's good carrying this. And then the other guy who's Sandler's boy.
Alan Covert.
overt, yeah.
Yes, like it was nice to see a guy like that carry a movie, and it was again like didn't think they were working with much, but it was really, really good.
Linda Cardellini, right? Was the
Yeah.
love interest, I
So
think?
Jonah Hill is also in it. He's sucking the boobs the whole time.
Right, yeah. Wow, good call.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill might be in the most of the movies that we
Yes. So it's going to come down to my vote. I think between the two of This Is the End and Horrible Bosses, I would pick Horrible Bosses. Just off. If you hadn't said Motherfucker
Happy
Jones,
for
it would have
Peyton.
been much harder.
Happy for me.
I regret saying that now because I'm a This Is the End guy through and through.
Horrible Bosses. It is very funny. It is an
Also,
extremely
a
funny.
pretty decent sequel. It's not as good as the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they make a third?
Definitely 2. I don't think 3.
2 is good.
Yeah, it's funny enough where it's
Pine
like
and
not a
Christoph
disappointment.
Waltz.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right. He's like the son of the scion or whatever. Yeah. So Horrible Bosses is going to go up against number 1 seed. Can you guys guess what it's going to be?
Super bad.
Super Bad.
Yeah.
So Super Bad versus Horrible Bosses. This feels like almost unfair, but start with you, Rico.
Super bad. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Another Jonah Hill one.
I think it's super. Yeah, it's Jonah Hill. It's super bad. It's that something about like you start your night out with no car, like they did, or maybe they did, but you go to a party, and that's just high school. It's high school. Like so many nights like that of just being in the woods trying to find booze, going somewhere. Things get rapaged off. You end up somewhere. Somebody ends somewhere else, comes back, tells a story, like the McLovin thing. I don't know. Super bad is just elite. It's elite.
Some of the best. Also, one great outtake reel. If you've never seen the blooper
so
reel
good.
for Super Bad, it's laugh out loud funny. Fights.
Yeah, I was gonna try and make an argument for Horrible Bosses, but don't overthink it. Just throw.
Another for Super Bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. It's not going to be for me where it's like, oh, super bad, just going to run through this bracket. I think it's great. It's not my number 1, but it is better than Horrible Bosses.
2 for Super Bad, or 3 for Super Bad now.
Like
This makes me feel a lot better that this was going against. That This Is the End was going against Superbad because there's no This Is the End without Superbad, obviously. Also, Danny McBride in both movies, great cameo. And
Danny McBride in-
he's in the background of the party scene.
You have to
The
admit,
adult
Glenn,
party
that,
scene.
that ending's one of the stupidest endings.
This is the end?
Yeah.
What do you mean? They go to heaven. Their Backstreet Boys are there.
That's a good part. We're not talking about that part.
The big demon.
You guys in the past, you guys said you hated Jonah Hill. You guys said you loved Jonah Hill as a demon. You said you liked Channing Tatum and you liked Backstreet Boys.
I
That's
never
the last
said
20 minutes of
any.
the
I
movie.
never said any of
That's the
that.
last 20 minutes of the movie. That's the end of the movie.
Point balls. Point balls.
Demon.
three
The
things
demon
at the end of
is
the
just,
movie.
what are we doing here? We didn't have to have that.
Yeah,
What do you mean? It was the rapture.
Yeah, you seem like you're going to turn it to him.
I feel like people forget how much literally Superbad is engraved in our actual like language now.
Cultural lexicon. Yeah.
Like the one that got off the top of my head, sitting alone like you're Steven Glansberg. Like that's literally in every.
That is
That's in the
crazy.
world's
like-
language.
Some people probably don't even know it's for like younger people.
also,
probably
I
don't even
wonder-
know.
I heard that before I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Like the Steven.
You guys could tell me wrong because I was 11 when I saw this. Like, you know how like the situation kind of popularized DTF down to fuck. Jonah Hill says it in Superbad.
Was he?
He says she's DTF. She's down to fuck P and G. Seth is making a pubic salad. Her mom is making a pubic salad. And she needs Seth's own dressing. That's Superbad.
I kind of thought DTF was Jersey Shore.
Too.
So did I, but he says it in Superbad first.
Jesus.
She's DTF. She's down to fuck, man.
did
Yeah.
Superbad come out?
2007.
7. Yeah.
Okay, so
August
it was before.
9th, 2007.
Wow. Almost the anniversary.
Yeah.
Because Glenny's birthday is August 11th, so he probably remembers.
Boom.
That well,
have an autistic
what Bob
off,
just
fellas.
said about what Bob just said about what movie did you say your mom was
I think it's
got yelled at for?
Step Brothers.
Oh, that was
for the
my
record.
dad. He was like, looks I
Him
was
saying
getting.
August 9th to that's insane.
So we're 4 for Superbad, but Robbie?
Easy Superbad vote for me. I like Horrible Bosses. I think Superbad, what Glenny was talking about before, he's like there's funny movies and then there's like the best movie. I think it's a perfect combination of both, where it's hysterical, but it's also like a perfectly made movie. There's not a scene in that movie wasted.
17th. It's a week early.
It's super bad. It's also like Rico said, it's just like when it came out, so 2007, I was middle school, I guess. That's just like you, and when you grow up, you're like, "Yep, that was high school." It's just
I saw it right after high school. 07 was, I was 2 years out, so it was like perfect time to see it.
Hater and what is Seth
Graduated high
Rogen?
school
Oh my God, such a
2005.
fastest kid alive.
Yeah, he's the fastest guy alive. Oh my God. Sorry, I blocked your cock.
In and around her mouth.
Yeah, and McLovin, like so the cultural lexicon thing, like Glenny's
So
saying,
many.
is-
I gotta get a look at this warlock.
I gotta catch him. Also, once again, Joe Truglia.
Joe Truglio, yeah.
He's got MySpace. Or so
wallet.
fucking funny. I mean,
He's very funny in Brooklyn Nine-Nine too.
He's very funny in Brooklyn. That's an underrated sitcom. People don't talk about that now. But either way, Superbad's going to move on. Before we get to the second half of the bracket, let's talk about our other friends over at BetterHelp. The bracket is sponsored by BetterHelp. When your schedule is packed with kids' activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let your priorities slip. And even when we know what we need to make ourselves happy, it's hard to make time for it. When you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. BetterHelp was awesome. We used it over the course of COVID. I used it over the course of COVID. It's awesome. You don't have to physically go to a doctor anymore. It's awesome. Doing it all virtually, so much better. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/lights today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lights. Thanks to our buddies over at BetterHelp. Now we have another one on the other side, a 6 versus 11 matchup that's very interesting. 6 is The Hangover. And this one was another tough one. I wasn't sure where to see.
I would have thought it was higher than
6.
I would have thought it was 2.
6 for The Hangover. And I think part of the reason I put it a little bit lower is the impact of Superbad is still very present. The impact of The Hangover, I don't think is as...
I think
masturbating on an airplane.
I think how many bachelor parties are doing the wolf?
Did Caesar actually live here?
I remember seeing the trailer for Hangover, and I go, "That's it! Like that's a hit.
That's the movie.
That was a hit." I was like, the day that movie comes out, I'm going to see it."
Yes, I saw that
Back when comedies were unbelievable, and it's like The Run, and I was
What
like,
year was that?
Oh, 09.
Yeah, that was a good. Yeah,
Great couple years. For
day The Hangover comes out, I was like, I
don't want to get autistic on you. I think it was like June 18th-ish.
I think it was June.
Might be June 18th, 2000.
just
Or
do
June
it.
21st. It might be June 21st.
Okay, you locking it in? You locking it in?
June 21st.
Hangover release date, June 5th, 2009.
Not even close.
That was actually
pathetic. Pathetic.
And the
autistic.
Damn, I'm not autistic anymore. The Hangover's going up against the 11 seed Old School, another one very heavily replied with.
It's a
This is a first round matchup.
Yeah, it's a 6-11.
one
It's a
versus
Final
two.
Four match.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Oh my god.
Old School, another very, very funny one. Start with you, Rico.
Can we petition to put Old School in the one that we voided out in the 8-9 slot?
Dodgeball?
A little late
With
for that.
dodgeball.
All right. Well, we didn't know the whole bracket. This is a Final Four-esque matchup. Like, I don't know. I think it's going to be The Hangover, but Old School, down the shore, we used to watch this all the time, and then little lines like that people pick up on, like, don't look at the baby, smile, don't look at the baby. I'm worth $3 million that the government knows about. Yeah, fuck, man. Old School is...
My boy Blue has been around.
That's my boy Blue.
Do you want to hear a fun fact about $3.5 million that the government knows about? A few years ago, I was bored. I bought a Speaker City tank top and a Speaker City hat.
I used to have the
and I
golf shirt.
tweeted out a photo of me in the Speaker City hat. And I tweeted, I'm worth $3.5 million that the government knows about. And if you type in on Google Glenny Balls net worth, it comes up that it's $3.5 million.
Really?
I'm gonna do that next.
I'll do it right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, Will Ferrell, this is before Will Ferrell, like, got to be where he was playing the character everywhere. This is when Will Ferrell, I think, is at his best. Like, it's a little cold out there, Frank.
Tranquilizer scene, very funny.
Tranquil, Sean William Scott,
Scott, right?
again. Shit. Yeah, I think it's The Hangover.
I'll never stop laughing when the fat guy does the flips. It always will make me laugh.
Yeah, Ari Gold has a great category. I think it's going to be The Hangover, because Hangover was one of those movies that, like, reinvented the wheel. Like, you hadn't seen anything like that. That speed. It was almost like it was playing downhill compared to everybody else. And it was just running faster than everybody. But Old School does not deserve to go out in the first round. But to me, it's The Hangover.
One for The Hangover, Fights.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I also haven't rewatched either of these in a while, but I do remember thinking that Old School of, like, that era of that comedy, like, is the purely funniest one. Like, there's things like Wedding Crashers are bigger, but that gets more comedy. I'm sorry, more romance. Like, Old School is like, I'm just gonna throw a fastball and I'm gonna throw it to you nonstop for an hour and a half.
See, I actually think The Hangover is like that. I think The Hangover has
but I was saying it at the time. Like, yes,
yeah.
like, at that
Like,
time.
I actually think The Hangover doesn't have as much depth as Old School does. I actually
The
think
Hangover has like the mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Hangover is like that high speed. We're gonna try and run 100 and fucking up tempo passing and
Yeah.
go by you. I actually think Old School has more depth. I think there's funnier shit. Like they keep regifting the thing. The fucking different people that show up. The Dan. You know what? Switch my fucking vote.
You going old school?
Yeah, I'm going old school.
I think that's where I was gonna go.
Same director, by the way. Which is
Todd
funny.
Phillips?
Never for complete
I didn't know he did old school.
He shows up in the beginning of old school. He's like, I'm here for the gangbang.
Not even close.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a very tight one for me, but I think I'm probably gonna go old school.
Doesn't Craig Kilborn say like, "Well, we don't knock now"?
Yeah.
Something like there's so many dry lines in there.
2 for old school.
It's comfortably The Hangover for me. This is my number one. I do like up until like when people would ask me, "Oh, what are your favorite movies?" I would say like The Hangover and The Dark Knight. I think I have to stop answering at 28 years old.
I think you got to keep it.
But The Hangover, saw it in the theaters with my friends. So fucking fun. Like never laughed so hard. The trailer's great. The post-credit scene to the Flo Rida with all the outcuts.
Pictures,
So it's
good.
just so. I mean, Ken Jeong's unreal in it. Obviously, Zach Galifianakis.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Little Chinese nuts.
When he pulls out his small rat coming out, I'm like, oh my god!
Cock test.
It does pass the contest. As a man of my word, I gotta flip my vote. It's The Hangover.
This is gonna be my number one. I always tell myself, first time ever go to Vegas, I'm gonna watch this on the flight. Did it? Paid off. Honestly, also
That scene when they're pulling into Vegas and all the
live your
lights.
life.
Yeah.
Live your life. I thought it's all the lights.
It's good. Welcome to the good life. I thought.
It's definitely
I was gonna say just unreal soundtrack.
Yeah.
Live your life is in it for sure. Live your life. Hey.
Wait, is that when? No, it's not when Tyson shows up, right?
No, even that's a great cameo.
Even like
Such
when
a good cameo.
the song that
Rob
they
Riggle is
sing-
great in it.
The song they sing of like my best friend Doug and that song is
Best Friend.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's iconic.
Yeah.
It probably would be a little less funny.
That's Hangover too.
As in a like, but it's still.
Yeah, The Hangover is one where I like thinking of it. I haven't seen it in a while. I feel like it doesn't hold up.
Oh no, it does.
Does it?
I
Yeah.
haven't rewatched it in a long time. I'm in the same camp.
I think
where
it
don't
holds
know.
up.
I'm going that it's The Hangover will have my vote every matchup.
Yeah. By the way, I was an idiot. It's in the air tonight was what was Tyson's song.
Yeah.
He goes, "Da-da-da," and punched in the face. So right now we are 2-1 in favor of The Hangover.
So, dude, my thing with old school, I was not an old school guy growing up. I think I was a little too young for it. Like, I had just missed when it came out. I think I watched for the first time in the last 5 years.
Really?
It's
I'm the same way.
It's also one of the shorter movies. It's like only an hour 20.
Yeah.
And it's fucking, I mean, it's
Yeah, but like
Jeremy Piven's hilarious.
Alicia
It's-
Cuthbert.
Yeah.
Like that. This isn't like the
so hot.
what's that other movie?
Girl Next Door.
Girl Next Door.
It's like peak Vince Vaughn, like earmuffs. Like, I mean,
Earmuffs.
Vince Vaughn is very high up there for me. I love Vince Vaughn. But like main thing I was mentioning earlier, I always say this, I've told you this, Bob, 1,000 times. I think when we're talking comedies, there's like best comedies and funniest comedies. I think Superbad's the funniest comedy. I think Hangover is the best comedy. Hangover is just an unbelievable, amazing movie, and it's just so fucking goddamn funny. It's The Hangover by a billion. I love The Hangover.
3 for The Hangover.
It's easily The Hangover for me. I liked old school when I watched it, but like I wasn't like blown away. I watched it in the last probably 2 or 3 years for the first time. Hangover, just like Step Brothers, I've rewatched those two more than any other comedy. I was Alan from The Hangover for Halloween when I was in 7th
Everyone
grade.
was at one point.
I was Alan.
Yep,
I did a good Alan.
I got second place in the costume contest. I also got banned from Xbox Live for putting a quote from The Hangover as my bio, which was Rain Man practically bankrupted a casino and he was a retard.
I forgot about that one.
Banned me from Xbox Live, yeah.
You know who's also a very underrated character in Hangover? Eddie.
Oh, Eddie's great. Brian Callen, yeah.
Like, he's also hilarious as Samir in Hangover.
Bring him
too.
back in the second,
love for Eddie.
in the same exact role, yeah.
He was Samir, different guy.
Who was his? Oh, it was Heather Graham. I was trying to remember who the girl was.
Yeah, Heather Graham.
The girl, yeah.
He's great in it. The Hangover's just one.
It's Hangover. I'm Hangover too. It's Hangover 2 was also fantastic.
Funny.
Like they keep going.
We only took my dad. We went to see Hangover 2 and took my dad, and he was like, "Do I need to see the first one?" Like, absolutely not. Like, yes, you should watch it eventually, but you don't. And the whole time he just kept being like, "What's with the thumb? What's with the finger?" When they took the finger, when the guy loses his finger, he's like, "What's with the finger?" Like that. You got to go with it. Like
They were actually both on this weekend, and I was watching Hangover 2 this weekend. The whole idea of Alan hating Teddy because he's infiltrating the trip is so fucking funny. Even when they visit Alan and Fenn, they bring in he's done with his food and he just goes, "Mother, Oreo smoothie now."
yeah,
I thought like Galifianakis was seriously going to be like the biggest movie star.
Yeah.
I thought 3 had
Obviously
some funny
he's
parts
huge,
though.
He did
I
3 had some funny parts.
He's like, what the fuck's wrong with these chickens? It's like they love
For a movie,
cocaine.
for the
and
third, like a
chickens.
trilogy, like for the third movie,
a third
of
one,
much
much
that
worse.
stupid of a movie was really good.
Yeah.
if you take it with all the other
A
ones.
grain of salt.
Galifianakis had a couple other good, like Due Date got shit on. I thought Due Date was pretty
Due Date
funny.
is great.
Dude,
I
Due
don't-
Date got
I don't
shit
love
on.
Due Date.
Oh, I liked it.
I
thought
don't
he was
love
really
it.
funny
People
in
are
that.
obsessed with
I
it.
think it's
The campaign he was in, Will Ferrell.
What's
Campaign was great.
He's very
Oh,
good.
that honestly would be up there for me. The
What was
campaign
the-
is
What's the one with Paul Rudd? Dinner for Schmucks. I
acid
think he was
titties?
funny in that.
Dinner for Schmucks is funny.
He's
haven't
people.
seen that
People
one.
I
dumped
like
on
that
that
for
too.
Schmucks as well. Yeah.
There's a scene where not Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, he's just like depressed in that movie, and you would think he walks out to look over a lake, but he walks knee deep into the lake, and just like look out at it. It's so funny.
He's funny in that. So the Hangover is going to move on comfortably. Now we have the 3 seed versus the 14th 3 seed. You want to talk about cultural lexicon? This might be the number 1 out of the entirety of all of them, and it's Borat. Borat. Man. You want to talk about cultural
Nice.
Dude, no movie I think has ever been quoted more in schools ever in history than Borat.
This is my neighbor, Julian Tuliagba. He is asshole.
Holy shit. Yeah, the whole fucking thing. The dance, like all that shit, dude. Oh, it's crazy.
We went to see it in the theaters in college. It was fucking unbelievable.
That's going up against number 14 seed Wedding Crashers. They're really tough one.
Oh,
This is gonna be a real tough matchup. So start with you, Marty.
Staying true to myself, my roommate, one of my best friends, loved Borat, and I refused to watch it. I've never watched it.
Really?
Never seen Borat. You should watch
It is really fucking funny.
You should watch
I heard
it.
it's amazing.
So
I heard it's amazing. Obviously,
Why, he just
being
quoted
vanilla
it too much?
quoted it nonstop, and I was like, you know what? I'm not watching.
That was me with the Cat Williams special. I was like, hey, late on the Cat Williams special, and everybody just kept doing every line. Like, why are you talking to me so loud? Like, it was like,
And I'm like, you know
all right.
what? I'm not watching because
And
he
somebody
kept saying very
and
nice.
somebody was like,
all
did
the
you ever
time.
see it? I'm like, nope, but I heard it. They're like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, like I know everything about Borat. I know the sayings. I've seen the clips, but I just have never seen the full movie. But I also love Wedding Crashers. Like that's just such a good idea of how and the way they executed it. That's a fantastic movie. That's a 14
By
seed.
rule, you should abstain, though, correct?
No, I'm Wedding Crashers.
I think you might have.
No, he loves Wedding Crashers.
I love Wedding Crashers.
You already loved one of them,
And
mate.
I also like, honestly, that Borat stuff's not my humor anyway. It's
I
probably
think
funny,
you
but
like Borat.
I probably like it.
like it.
I probably like it,
Yeah.
but it's usually not.
Robbie Fox.
This is tough. I really like Wedding Crashers, but I think I got to go Borat. I remember I used to like when my brother still lived at home with my mom. We all lived at home. I would have like sleepovers in my brother's room where I would be like, if I slept over, he'd get to watch a rated R movie. Showed me The Matrix for the first time. Showed me Die Hard for the first time. And when I got old enough, it was like, all right, let me show you Borat. And I had heard so much about it from everyone in my family that I was like, this is a moment. And it like, I was crying, laughing the entire runtime. There's the scene where they go and like stay with the Jewish family and they're terrified of them. And then the bug crawls in their room and they're like, oh, the Jew has cleverly shapeshifted into a bug.
Their shapes.
Insane,
I
like
mean,
humor.
And also,
problematic,
the
but, like, hilarious.
huge like points for Borat is the fact that it's like all real shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I didn't know that like Borat, like when he goes to these families, like they don't know, like
not
they
in
think
on it.
he's a Kazakhstan documentary. They don't, it's
Yes.
not like a fully scripted movie.
Oh, I thought it was a fully scripted.
No, that
No,
which
no.
is like major points for it to be that funny, like
Yeah.
on the fly.
There's like 4 or 5 scripted scenes in the movie, like everything with Pamela Anderson in the movie.
right.
But like the fact that a lot of it's like Impractical Joker style, like hidden
Yeah.
cameras.
wild.
and shit. It's
Was
crazy.
he in? Does he? I don't know anything about that guy.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Dictator.
Dictator, Bruno. Yeah.
What was his old show?
Ali G.
Ali
show,
G.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie G is my favorite character he had.
Ali G was my introduction to Sacha Baron Cohen, and it was still like he was this British guy, and I was young enough where I was like, is he a character? Like, do the people he's interviewing, do they get it? It was one of those like it was basically like
shakalaka.
opened up a whole new genre to me, which I'm kind of like, well, I guess this is actually this turned you on to it, but I'm not typically a fan of that.
Like the hidden camera, like
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. Like
He,
that
like-
actually like freaks me out.
Like I like
think I
like,
prefer that.
when everyone knows the joke and like it's scripted. That's my favorite kind. But the Borat was different. Borat still
movie.
It's still got me, even though it's not my typical.
When he's drying his balls off with the fucking hair dryer, and he's like, like every
The naked
throwing
wrestling.
100 the whole time. He's chasing the chickens. Like Borat, as good as Wedding Crashers was, like he's throwing a hundo, and you just can't hit it.
Right now we're 1-1. Glenny.
I feel the same way as Marty on kind of his fights. I not really my style. I've seen it a few times. It's obviously funny, but Wedding Crashers is up there with me for like the best. What is it? Frat Pack movies. I mean, you like Vince Vaughn.
I never heard that. I like that.
Yeah, like Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Paul Rudd, all those jazz. But thinking about, I mean, right off the top of my head, for me, Wedding Crashers ages like fine wine. I didn't really like it growing up. Now I like it a lot more. Like, I used to think it got a little slow once they get to the house because the first 20 minutes is just insane when they're going to the
First
wedding.
20
It's
minutes
fucking
is
awesome,
crazy.
and they're just mixing up with all the different cultures at the wedding.
When they're playing Shout and like it ends with
Shout.
all the boobies coming out.
And then he said jabroni.
Yeah.
Then there's like so many wedding quotes immediately, like.
Ma, the
When he's
meatloaf
trying to
is-
talk about the Yankees, and Vince Vaughn is just so fucking funny. Then once they get to the house, you got all of Vince Vaughn.
I like when Vince wants to teach him how to eat the cake, and no, you got to get a little more. Vince Vaughn on tilt, like
Are they built for speed or comfort? That painting was a gift, Todd.
Yep.
And then the one thing I always think about, which I didn't see Wedding Crashers in the theater, I was like 8 years old, but I always read this. They somehow kept in the wraps that Will Ferrell was in it.
Yeah.
And then to not know that cameo was coming, and then that character, I mean,
Unbelievable.
it's Hall of Fame
That
stuff.
was like an Avengers cameo. Where
It's
he
Hall
comes
of
out
Fame
in the basement with the nunchucks.
It's Hall of Fame stuff. You didn't even realize I was nunchucked you.
It's one of my favorite Christopher Walken roles. I think he's so funny. In
Yeah.
It's crap.
That one grandma.
Generations of large family breeding.
Also, Isla Fisher's great. That's an amazing
Very
guess.
good in that.
I'm probably due for a rewatch of Wedding Crashers. It's been a while. I think I maybe have only seen it once. But I got to go Borat. Borat got a little soured for me because I fucking hated Borat 2. I thought Borat 2 sucked. But Borat, it's just, I mean, the quotability of it, and like, I do like the fact that it's like hidden cameras. Like, I think that makes it so much more impressive, and like, you could
Does it make
script
it more impressive, honestly?
Yeah, like you could
do-
script the funny
I think
things in the
it's-
world, but to like blend it, like nothing's as funny as like raw reactions.
I think it's harder to script something funny than to just like surprise someone that doesn't know they're on a show.
We're Practical Jokers guys, though.
Yeah.
I know. I forgot.
But
I agree with you, but it is like because I'm like when I watch that, I'm like, well, they just did it with 50 different people,
Yeah.
and this is the
This
one.
was the
that-
best one. You're saying,
Like-
yeah.
It's just a difference.
I'm saying it's more impressive, maybe like for the actor himself,
Yeah.
like as opposed to just knowing the lines, like
staying
having to
character or
improv
something?
and like to stay in character.
Your every take needs to be perfect.
Right.
Because that could be the take where they get the best reaction.
Yeah,
I get both sides.
yeah, I'm gonna
I
go.
think they shot all those things 50 times.
No. But I'm just saying, like
Theoretically,
Probably
but-
some they did. Like some they probably shot like 10 different ways.
I know like when they get in the RV with the kids with the US University of Southern Carolina kids, they were like all those kids were just shit facing. Like, I think they ended up suing the movie because they were like, we were drunk when we signed that contract. Like, you got us drunk, and I'm always like, that kind of cheapens it a little bit. Like, there's I don't know, whatever. But I really liked Borat.
But I also think you can watch Borat, as many people probably did, not knowing that's how it was shot,
Right.
and it would still be like very funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going Borat.
2-2. Fights.
This is another one I shouldn't overthink, and I'm not gonna, so I'm just gonna tell you Wedding Crashers. But I did see Borat. If I had to give, we're guessing opening dates, Borat came out November 06, fall 06 for sure, because I saw it in Burlington, Vermont.
Came back from college, I would say 06.
Yeah. And it was
November 2006. November 3rd.
Ah, nice.
What was Wedding Crashers then? Wedding Crashers was
04, I believe.
yeah, I want to say like June 04?
Not 04.
05.
July 2005. That was the least impressive of all these guests. not to
Rico is the worst at by the way. He had no idea.
I saw it in a theater. I was at St. Mike's at the time, and I saw it in a packed theater, and it was raucous. Like everyone's just
Which one?
dying. Borat.
Borat, yeah.
It was really, really, really funny. It did like open up a new genre to me where I was like, oh, that stuff can be funny. I'm probably, I think I've already said this once. I'll say it again. I think I'm gonna rewatch that tonight because I think
Borat?
that one I've probably only seen that one. That's probably in my 3 to 5 range. I think tonight's gonna be a Borat night.
So right now we are 3-2 in favor of Wedding Crashers over
models.
Borat.
Yeah, I'm going to tie it up. I saw both of these movies. I saw both of them in theaters. I fucking stood for Wedding Crashers. They overbooked the theater. Stood for the fucking movie. That's how crazy. That's how much you had to see this movie. You had to see Wedding Crashers when it was coming out. Such hype. Will Ferrell, I guess nobody knew. You're right. Nobody knew it was coming out. But Borat was just different. It was different. It was like watching a different movie and a different type of comedy. I think Borat, just for the significance, like Borat, it's Borat. And Wedding Crashers I love, but it's Borat.
All right, so we're tied up. Is Stanko still in the room, or Stanko will leave for the meeting? No, Stanko, so it's up to you guys. Is it David and me in there?
Oh, these are younglings.
I also judge more.
Borat from the crew. Pulling it full up. We got Borat. He's going to get the winning vote and move on.
Know what I say about that? Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Borat's going to move on. Now we have...
Pee-pee touch, right?
See, the amount of times I've heard this, I'm like, fuck this.
Honestly, I don't blame
I don't think you're ever gonna get it like organically.
You gotta watch. You gotta watch.
No, but I think
I need some
on it.
I need some time. I need now like more time.
Yeah. We just like reset
it.
Yeah, since Marty's heard of Borat.
Now we have the 7 seed versus the 10 seed. The 7 seed is 40-Year-Old Virgin, another one.
Okay.
Lots of play. Tons and tons of play. And that's going up against number 10 seed, another very super quotable one with Steve Carell in it, Anchorman. Anchorman, another one that got quoted a shit ton.
I'll let you know if there's one movie not in this, I will never do the bracket again.
there's
Well, you might have missed some at the beginning.
you missed a whole
I think you might have
missed the full first half.
The one that you're talking about get mentioned.
Not That's My Boy.
No, not
Okay,
that
that's
one.
what
That's my boy. Not make any of the lists.
What is it, Marty?
The other guys.
Okay, so
That's gonna be on here.
wait for that.
Just making sure, because I would have never done it again.
Yeah. So 40-Year-Old Virgin versus Anchorman, starting with you, Rico.
Tough.
Very tough.
Nah, you guys are overthinking.
This is easy.
Yeah, I think
it's-
this is easy.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't even know which.
I think it's a blowout.
I think it's a
I think I'm going 40-Year-Old Virgin because Will Ferrell then became Ron Burgundy, this Ron Burgundy character, and that
has been
always
annoying.
irritated me. The movie itself is good. He doesn't need to play the guy everywhere. 20 years later, he doesn't need.
He just did it the Tom Brady roast. Where else he do it?
I think he has a podcast.
They've done like a few things with it. Yeah, it's pretty
I mean, he
annoying.
definitely
Yeah.
he did add Ron Burgundy.
This was when like Ferrell became Ferrell as a character, and it got a little sour. I think on the surface, it's probably Anchorman, but I'm gonna go 40-Year-Old Virgin.
One for 40-Year-Old Virgin.
yeah, this is Anchorman. Anchorman was the one. Anchorman's gonna be tough. I've done a rewatch of Anchorman and Anchorman 2 recently, which I think now I hated when I first saw it. I think super underrated now. I think Anchorman 2 is still very funny.
I hated Anchorman.
I watched it
When
whenever
they started throwing like the fight in the park or whatever, I was like, all right.
I thought the
hated the fight.
I know,
Yeah,
but,
the same
for
thing.
some reason, it doesn't feel as ridiculous anymore.
I thought the fight at the end of Taking Back 2 when like, is that the ghost of Stonewall Jackson? I thought that's so funny.
It is. I think the fact that it's like Kanye and Drake.
Yeah,
it kind of takes you out a little bit. But yeah, Anchorman 1 is the one.
Anchorman 1-1 right now.
Yeah, it's Anchorman. A little 40-Year-Old Virgin story as we're sharing nuggets. I was watching an interview with Judd Apatow, and he said his favorite scene he's ever written was just the opening of 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's struggling to pee with the boner. Yeah. He was like, I just think it's such a relatable thing. It is great. The bags of sand is obviously great. But yeah, Anchorman. I think
Kevin Hart in the fucking video store.
Yeah, that is a great scene.
That the one where he flips out about fucking if I gotta watch this Michael Bolton thing or Michael McDonald one more time.
Using big words, so I'm gonna take him as disrespect.
You know, I know you're gay. That whole back and forth is brought in Rogan. Yeah,
I think if I had to pick a character that's made me laugh the most in any movie, it might be Brick Tamlin. It might be Steve Carell in Anchorman. I love Lamp. I mean, all the just random things he would say. Again, it gets a little sour because I didn't love Anchorman 2. I also don't love the end of Anchorman. I just realized
Anchorman turns into a little bit of a rom-com.
I realize I don't like the conflict stages of comedies. Like, I wish they could just be funny the whole time. Like, I don't like at the end, like when they get a little serious and it's conflict. Like, just keep being fucking funny. I don't need a plot.
I do hate waiting for the conflict.
Yeah,
I know
like,
it's coming. Just get over it.
And it's like it's gonna get a little like less funny. It's like that. I don't really care for that. I didn't love how they did it in Anchorman. Like I don't know when he goes off on his own and like I don't.
Once
care
I've
for
seen
that.
the movie, I'll not all the time, but I will stop watching once we get to the conflict.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'll put it in the conflict.
The conflict is overrated. So but I'll still go with Anchorman.
2 for Anchorman, 1 for 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I'm not really the biggest fan of either of these movies. I'm going to go Anchorman, I guess.
You're
Anchorman.
disgusting.
Wow. Yeah.
Like Glenny is genuinely offended.
I think
either of these
What
comedies
seed are
on the
these?
list.
7 and 10.
This is 710.
not-
Old school's better than both of these.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fact.
I'm not even a debate.
I disagree.
All right. What if we do this?
I think Anchorman's
I think
better
both
than
of these are better
I
than
love
old
it.
school.
Yeah.
Rico's just trying to change the game. Let's take the one we didn't
We'll take the
there
vote.
and put
Old
it
school
here.
versus both of these. Do you take old school?
Anchorman.
No.
I think Anchorman's.
You take Anchorman. You're on old school. Got 2 votes.
I'm just not I'm not an Anchorman guy or a 40-year-old virgin.
Is that
guy,
mine
Anchorman.
that you're drinking?
No, I ordered Wendy's
You
too.
sure?
Positive. You want
I
to
left that right there.
You want to see my Uber
There's
Eats
a
order?
Wendy's Coke left with that exact
Dr.
thing.
Pepper.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fair.
Robbie Fox.
Could be lying.
I'm not a huge Anchorman guy, but I also haven't seen it in so long. I remember it actually scarred me seeing it in theaters. Another movie that my brother shouldn't have taken me to. I was like 6. But when Jack Black kicks the dog,
Oh yeah,
I really didn't like that or find it funny at all. I was like,
I thought it was really fucking.
now watching it, of course, it's like the fakest dog of all time, so it's very funny. But like, I was just like, oh yeah, that movie wasn't funny. That had a disturbing ending. Like, I really didn't like that. I love the 40-Year-Old Virgin, and I find it super rewatchable. I mean, I'm a nerd, so the scenes with him in his apartment with the action figures and the mint condition and all that shit, hysterical.
You know what was really funny? It was the scene where he's like takes the daughter to sex ed, and like the little kid's like, "Yeah, I fucked so many girls," and he's like, "You go to Temple, John." Like,
Yeah,
The dating scene is so funny, where like the girl's boob falls out of her shirt. Thing. The ending is so funny.
yeah.
Finally has sex.
We have
Spoilers.
so we're 3-2 in favor of Anchorman.
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 Definitely. 4-Year-Old Virgin's funny. I think it's funny. I don't think I'm like dying laughing at it all the time.
If we're talking iconic trailers, him getting his chest
Waxed,
wax like
yeah.
sticks
Yeah.
with
Kelly
me.
Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson, yeah.
Yep. So Anchorman's move on. Now we're gonna do our second chain game to go up against our number 2 seed. The options are Pineapple Express, very funny movie.
Never seen it.
Super Troopers, which is a little too me too indie. Talladega Nights. I Love You, Man.
Oh.
Very fun. We talked about it a little bit before, Rob Fox. Pop Star Never Stop Poppin', which we talked about, which is very funny, but not enough people have seen it. Very funny.
I could heard of that.
Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, The Nice Guys, and Zoolander.
Fuck.
So to run them through again, and Marty, you're going to start first on this chain of game.
Have we said the 2 seed yet?
We haven't said it yet.
It's gonna be the other guys.
It's the other guys. Pineapple
Smoked.
Pineapple Express, Super Troopers, Talladega
the other
Nights,
guys.
I Love You, Man, Pop Star.
Never
Walk-
seen the other
Never
guys.
seen the other.
Rico.
guys.
Is this a bit?
Not a bit.
It's
Never
the
seen
best
it.
movie of all time.
Yeah. Who is it again? It's Will Ferrell and who?
Mark
We'll talk
Wahlberg,
about when it comes up.
Wahlberg. All right.
Mendes.
Yeah, save
Fucking
it.
unbelievable.
Save it when we get there. So again, Pineapple Express, Super Troopers, Talladega Nights, I Love You, Man, Pop Star, Walk Hard, The Nice Guys, or Zoolander. Marty.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights gets
I
it.
love Talladega Nights. It's so the kids in that's so funny.
Talladega Spider Monkey.
Drinking Mountain Dew all the time and
Up on Mountain Dew.
they're so funny and it's just so ridiculous. But like, I really am interested in him becoming like the best NASCAR driver.
Good Sacha Baron Cohen role, too.
Yeah.
The villain is so fucking funny.
Releasing pancakes.
One for Talladega Nights, Bob.
This is between Talladega Nights and I Love You, Man for me. They're like truly 2 of my favorite comedies. I think I'm going to lean I Love You, Man, though. The Lou Ferrigno subplot in that movie, the Rush subplot in that movie. I just love Paul Rudd, too. Paul Rudd's one of my favorite actors. I'll go I Love You, Man.
I Love You, Man.
This is by far Pineapple Express for me. I mean, I thought we were saying earlier, I think when he's in a comedic role, James Franco is one of the funniest people out there. Respectfully, James Franco. And
McBride, dude.
as I previously said, Danny McBride, I think, is the funniest guy on the planet. And Red, I mean,
Red's really good.
I mean,
Red is
well,
so funny.
Red is.
One of the best like fight scenes in any comedy.
I mean, Red is just. I think he's up there. He's almost as funny as Danny McBride himself. And this is the end.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they won't die in that movie.
It's
Such a good bit.
So funny.
I used to
The
use this
beginning
in
of that movie with Bill Hader's so good too. It's just so funny.
Hey, I mean, Craig Robinson's fucking awesome in it. And I love Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pineapple Express. It's just one of those that slipped through the cracks. I've seen parts of it at like a friend's house. I've never watched it in full, and I just really hate like stoner humor. And I guess it's probably not that the whole movie, but I've just kind of been like, I don't want to fucking watch these potheads the whole movie.
I like how
It is that the whole movie.
It is that. Oh,
Tom,
God.
I don't even smoke. It's my
Not being
favorite.
high, and I was like, this ain't for me.
I don't really love any of these options. We mentioned it before. I'm gonna throw in the campaign. I'm gonna vote for the
Campaign?
Oh, I just watched that 2 nights ago.
Will Ferrell, Zach Galifianakis.
Great.
It's a
Good movie.
Yeah.
Can we throw in That's My Boy?
You can throw in That's My Boy if you want.
Switch it up.
I'm voting for the camp.
Actually, if that's my boy versus other guys, I'll literally, for YouTube, K myself.
Yeah. All right, well, the campaign and That's My Boy are both on the board. You guys want that?
That's my boy's in. I'm putting That's My Boy
I
in
would
there.
put it's worth the play in.
Really one of the worst movies ever made.
That is so
Hey, what do you
This is the
wrong.
Adam
Back to?
Sandler, Andy Samberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's you don't question it. It's that's what.
I mean, I've seen it, but I
When did it? There's so many things that he says that is so.
It could be
I
a
got Fenway
horrible
in my
movie. It could still
backyard.
be funny.
Let's lose
I
the time.
couldn't
Hit
get
some
through
dingers.
5 minutes of it when it came out.
You're a loser.
What, you don't like?
You're rolling around saying you hate Nickelback. Yeah,
You must
you're a
hate.
loser.
You must hate Tom Brady then too. Then
I actually
big man of scruff.
I kind of what you're like with Will Ferrell. I recently got out of a phase of that with Adam Sandler, where I kind of just with the Sandman, like he had that run where it's all the Netflix movies, and I was kind of like, he's just doing the character. And I've been rewatching all of those recently, and I love them.
So good.
I just watched Murder Mystery and Murder Mystery 2. Unbelievable.
Delightful.
No, those I did the same thing. Those are fantastic.
Fantastic.
great movie.
Yeah, really good.
Great movies. The do-over is really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like
Just go with it.
it was just
go
go
with
with
it.
it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I kind of just had that thing with Adam Sandler, and probably in the last 3 months I started watching all those for the first time. I'm like, these are unbelievable.
There's definitely some he could have left. But still,
Jack and Jill could have not.
Ridiculous
Jack and Jill is
six.
tough.
Yeah.
I actually,
Nicky.
that was
I'm
bad.
switching my vote from the campaign to another movie we haven't mentioned. I'm a little disappointed. Ted.
Oh yeah, Ted's a good movie.
Ted and holds up. I've watched that. Very
Great
Oh,
fucking
Ted
movie.
definitely holds
Yeah.
up.
I'm voting for
On
Ted.
the bracket.
Wait, let's all do this together. So what are we doing? We thinking Ted, That's My Boy.
Ted, that's my boy.
I mean, basically, this is just pick any movie that hasn't been mentioned.
Whichever gets the most momentum right now is going to go into.
I'm going Ted.
If Ted hasn't been mentioned, I'm with Ted.
Are we with Ted? So we're 2 for.
That's my boy.
I will take Ted to. Ooh, but that's my boy.
That's my boy.
Don't compare That's My Boy and Ted, Glenny.
Oh, Donnie Burger comes in and uses a fake name. You go with
Can we
it.
do a group watch of That's My Boy?
really
So you
is
guys can really with you have to go with a clear head.
Yes.
Clear head.
I would love that.
I'd do it.
We have to do it one night, and we do a full review on it of clear head, not saying it's the worst
Yeah.
movie.
This is-
Ah,
I
it's
do-
so
I do
dumb. It's so
Clear Head.
funny. This was on in the firehouse one day. I came in like night dog guys are pissing themselves.
It's so stupid. It's the hardest I've ever seen my father laugh in his life when the fat guy wins the marathon at the end. When Tubby Took wins the marathon.
It's even funnier. Like, you ever watch what's that show with the family on NBC? It's like it's the Houston
This is
show.
us.
Oh, I'll give
Us.
another
This
one.
is us.
Yeah.
The dad, everyone loves him.
Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah, who's just like having incest in
Yeah.
That's My Boy. Like it's the funniest
Yeah.
thing.
Incest really
I'll
did it
give
in for
another
me.
honorable
was
mention.
fucked
Did this
up.
make the list? Good Boys.
You boys didn't. That's a more recent one.
That's
Pretty funny.
That's very funny.
Good.
Yeah.
You just like when people aren't supposed to say what they're supposed to say. Like
No, I thought Good Boys was funny.
You know what? I'll join you guys in Ted.
Ted?
I'm going Ted.
Ted?
Ted, dude. So Talladega Nights is really, really, really funny. Talladega Nights, I almost honorably want to vote for because if I'm gonna guess when that one came out, that's summer '06. Because
Ted?
no, Talladega Nights.
5 minutes he's been talking about that.
August 4th, 2006.
Ted
Fourth of the
was.
six.
Hold on.
But
Give me a second.
well, the December of '06, I had an appendectomy, and my buddy came over and watched Talladega Nights, and we had to turn it off because I ripped a stitch in my
Really?
appendectomy scar, and I couldn't keep watching the movie.
Oh my god.
But then I want to say The Nice Guys because I feel like Gosling needs a little play on here, and The Nice Guys is an unbelievable movie. It probably is.
Better movie than comedy, probably.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's
Yeah.
too good. But if we're doing Ted, I'm
We got to
I
add
believe
one more.
Ted was June 29th, 2012.
Glenn needs to add one more.
June 29th, 2012.
Oh, I went to the Subaru dealer with my mom and cousin Gabby that day. And then we went to go see Ted. And the next day, I went to the Yankee game and Hiroki Kuroda pitched against the White Sox.
We did just converse down here. I got to throw one more in the mix. Semi-pro.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
It's
That's
good,
tough
but
for
it's
this.
not on the level of a lot
Yeah,
of these. I think.
I'm gonna stick with
another
Ted
one where
though,
I just
but I just wanted
watch
to
because
throw semi-pro out
I
there.
feel like that Will Ferrell era, that was kind of his mid.
Oh no.
I love semi-pro.
I sort of think it was.
Yeah, I'm. Let's stick to Ted.
I would vote that's
Oh, yeah.
my boy.
You
I
don't
think Ted's gonna
fighting
win
a
that
bear at halftime's funny, Bob.
It was funny, but like
How many strikeouts
he's
for
making
Kuroda?
some classic.
I don't know, but I know he pitched.
no, he
three.
was.
He might have had 11 or 13.
He had 11 strikeouts.
He pitched on. Was it like 8 innings?
What was the final score?
It's like 3-1.
4-0. 4-0.
Yeah,
That was
3.
all right.
Yeah, it was a gem by Robbie.
That's an incredible sequence.
Saying,
Are we agreeing Ted going in against?
Yeah, just put Ted in. That's fine.
So Ted versus the other guys.
Wahlberg,
So-
man.
Yeah, it's a Wahlberg off.
Yeah.
I got to abstain. I've seen Ted maybe once or twice, but I'd never seen the other guys.
Never seen the other guys.
I've seen it.
That's unbelievable.
swear to God, if it gets, I will lose my mind.
Ted's great. Giovanni Ribisi's unbelievable in it. It's the other guys.
The other guys a million times.
Ted is another movie where I hate the conflict. I hate when the creepy guy stealing the bear. It's like, come on, let Ted keep being Ted.
It is weird, but for some reason that conflict I like. Me and my buddy used to do it when we lived together in Boston, and we would just try and like beat the other person to the living room and do the Giovanni Ribisi dance. Like when he's got the juice box and
The Silence of the
someone
Lambs
came
song,
home,
yeah.
we'd want to be like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Now that's awesome. I like
Fellows moment right there.
that. Might start doing that with Rhea.
Tommy?
Yeah, it's the other guys. I mean, the plot of him being married to Eva Mendes, Mark Wahlberg not being able to believe it, the Arnie Palmy alert.
Oh my God.
I went to high school with this kid who could recite the entire Tuna-verse Lion like movie scene, and like we didn't like him that much other than that. But we would like once a week be like, do the Tuna-verse Lion scene right now.
You need a friend in the group like that.
yeah,
aim for
the friend group. Went to high school.
Aim for the bushes too. Like that is an opening
they
sequence.
Start off a movie like that? Is it
Yeah.
with the Foo Fighters in the background.
Yeah. There wasn't even any bushes. There
actors?
it just jumps to 9 stories. Glenny.
I gotta say, I did not know the other guys was like this highly regarded in the realm of comedy. This is fucking insane.
You're crazy.
Like ahead of like Wedding Crashers and Old School.
yeah.
Like that. Like that's. I'm
School,
going.
I think,
I'm going
for
Ted
both
here
of
by
these,
a very fair margin.
Wow.
I think I totally forgot Ted. Ted's fucking hilarious. I mean, we're talking about innovative movies. We're talking about a fucking bear that bangs hookers. It's an awesome movie. And Wahlberg's,
Very innovative.
Wahlberg's hilarious. I mean, Seth MacFarlane, great job. Mila Kunis, fantastic. I mean, Patrick Warburton, so
He's very fit. Him and Ryan Reynolds.
Got Flash
Classic.
Gordon back.
My bad. I was sending a tweet. Amazing quote.
I quote that all the time.
That's as iconic as it gets.
Yeah, so funny.
I'm going Ted. Oh man, it's my buddy Johnny, not the lobster, the guy running it. Amazing. Ted.
3-1 in favor of the other guys.
Easy Ted vote for me.
Ooh.
I love the other guys, but Ted, one of my favorite comedies ever. I love Ted 2 as well. I think both movies are so funny.
Star Wars moment in
They
Ted
have
2.
such funny moments like, throughout both of them. The Thunder Buddy scene, the scene in 2 where he gets covered in cum at this sperm donation spot. So good. I love Ted.
Big time trailer movie too.
Yes.
That
Also-
trailer was like, whoa.
Unbelievably good series based on like what I thought it would be. Seeing the trailer, I was kind of like, oh no, like is Ted
Peacock show?
Yeah, I was like, is Ted gonna like become like cheesy and kind of like PG? And the show was awesome.
I gotta watch.
I gotta add that to my things of things to watch. I watched the first episode and forgot to watch it.
Other guys.
The other guys.
is the best comedy. It's my favorite comedy. You will not catch me in anytime I see any of my friends from college, we have to say, "How's your wife? She's dead." Attaboy.
Yep.
Every time.
That was Zach
It's
Woods.
one of the most smallest lines in there when he's just walking. "How's your wife? She's dead." Attaboy. It's so funny.
And that was fucking Zach Woods, that character.
Yeah.
Dude, and Michael Keaton.
Keaton, dude.
Oh my.
Bisexual
I actually
son.
just last night I realized I have a real Keaton thing. I don't know what it is. I like it's because very very regularly one of my like going to bed shows will either be Dope Sick, Worth, or Spotlight. And
Dark movies and shows to go to sleep
really
to.
dark
fall
bedtime
asleep to that?
stuff.
Yeah.
What?
And I just love Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
And I realized it last night 'cause I watched it. I believe it was you. It was one of
Knox
the
Goes Away.
Not, I loved it.
Is this
Didn't
the
like it. I thought it was so boring.
Batman, John.
I never seen the Batman.
About the
Next to the
founder.
Batman.
Founder. I thought
Founder, love the Founder. Yeah.
If we're on the topic of Michael Keaton, I have to bring this up. Nobody has ever agreed with me, but I know that it's true. Michael Keaton and A-Rod look alike a little bit. There's
little bit, yeah.
There's something in the eyebrows and like the
Got a round-ass
eyes.
head.
There is something very similar with the eyes and the eyebrows. There's something there.
Also,
think he's wrong.
Talking about cameos, he shot Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
And then them sitting in the, like, talking about when they shoot their guns, you should have shot A-Rod. Like, that's just so...
It is historically inaccurate because the Yankees never played a Game 7 at home with Derek Jeter.
God, I hated that.
I don't know why. He's been doing this a
Historically
lot
inaccurate.
lately.
I don't like that.
Oh, also respectfully to the other guys, Dirty Mike and the boys.
Dirty Mike and the
Dirty
boys.
Mike and the boys. Oh, my.
Director of
Thanks
the
for
movie.
the fuck, Jack.
Thanks for the F Shacks. Dirty Mike and the boys.
Robbie Bell like describing everything they did in his car. They call it a soup kitchen. They all fuck in the back of the car.
Why do they keep doing that?
We will fuck in your car again. It's so funny. Before we get into the playoffs, let's talk about Ibotta. Sandals, sunscreen, snacks for the kids. What do these have in common? You're probably buying a ton of it this summer, but don't stress out about the cost. Use Ibotta and get cash back on all of your purchases and stock up on all of your summer essentials. Ibotta is a free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. Earn hundreds on items from groceries to beauty supplies, even toys, so that you can make sure that you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average user earns $256 a year. That can cover the entire shopping trip, flight you're buying, or that fancy dinner you've been craving. Other apps give you points that don't amount to much. With Ibotta, you earn cash back that you can withdraw into your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. Simply add offers to the app, upload your receipt, and voila, that money is yours. It's time you joined over the 50 million users who use Ibotta to earn cash back every time they shop. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying the app using code BRACKET when you register. Just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use code BRACKET. That's IBOTTA at the Google Play or the App Store and use code BRACKET. All right, playoffs. First matchup, Step Brothers versus Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Oof. Rico.
Step Brothers against Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I would say Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Over Step Brothers? 1 for Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I think it's gonna start getting hard now, but I am gonna go Step Brothers.
1 for Step Brothers.
I'm going Step Brothers comfortably. I think Forgetting Sarah Marshall, yeah, maybe it's better with like whatever the plot, but Step Brothers is so fucking funny.
2 for Step Brothers.
Easy Step Brothers.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Really?
Easy Step Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's not even close.
Really easy Step Brothers for me.
Yeah.
Step Brothers is so good.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
No, but Step Brothers so
Wait,
good.
wait.
We haven't even mentioned Catherine Hahn in Step Brothers.
Yeah.
He's so fucking
And Adam
funny.
Scott.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott is so funny. Their kids are so funny in that
What does
movie.
he say when he wants to come to the car? He's like, 20 minutes.
And Cook, pay-per-view, 20 minutes.
Aren't they the ones that star like Why You Sweating? I was watching Cops.
Yeah.
Like
Step Brothers. Yeah.
Step Brothers, right? Yeah.
Are Bonita Fish big?
Who does he say to Adam Scott's character? He's like, I was doing XYZ with Jeff Probst or something. Like,
Yeah, the Cubes was there. Jeff
Cubes.
Probst. Super Chef Bobby Flay.
Super Chef Bobby Flay.
And I think
that's good.
Maybe the best nachos I've ever looked in a movie.
Ooh. I forgot.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Forgetting Sarah Marshall like kind of like a not even like a comedy?
We were talking about that.
You were just talking about that before,
romantic
yeah.
comedy. Like it's
That
on
one's
the
I feel like
line.
more romantic.
But it's not. Like,
But it also is hysterical. It is funny.
comedy.
He
But
said it's the funniest romantic movie, the most romantic funny movie.
yeah.
Right on the edge.
These are just different tiers.
Yeah.
It's levels to
Step
that.
Brothers when it came out was like
Step Brothers is a comedy.
yeah.
I would call Forgetting Sarah Marshall a com-rom. Like
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
romance. It's the second.
I've never heard of the phrase "comrom." I like that
I think we just invented it.
because I struggle with that a lot too.
You really helped them out there. I like that. Yeah, I'm going Step Brothers.
Bob Fox, Step Brothers as well. Step Brothers can move on. Next, we have Superbad versus Dodgeball. This is a tough.
Fuck.
Superbad versus Dodgeball. Start with you, Marty.
I don't think it's that close.
That's tough because I really, really like Dodgeball a lot. I was sad when the wheelchair guy died.
That's just O'Houlihan.
I was really sad. I'm gonna go super bad though.
One.
That's Stephen Root who plays Patches. Who is that?
No, it's
Rip
Rip Torn.
Torn.
Rip Torn plays him, and Hank Azaria plays him in like the
Also-
flashback sequence.
Yeah.
Fuck Dodgeball, because when they like who's the pirate guy was so funny.
Yeah.
No, but like they're asked like, what do you mean? There's a guy who's acting like a pirate. Like, I had no idea he was trying to be one. I'm gonna go super bad though. That's a tough matchup.
One for Superbad.
I'm going super bad as well. I love Dodgeball, but I think Superbad's like more iconic at this point for sure.
Iconic.
Yeah, not even. Yeah, come on.
Not even worth
I
discussing.
don't think it's close.
I think I'm due for a dodgeball rewatch as well. It's been
Dodgeball's awesome.
ever
It's just
since I've
Great
seen
movie.
not
yeah.
a-
Very
I'm
silly.
a big Vince Vaughn guy.
Yeah, I think it's a little more like stupid humor, which isn't bad, but yeah, I mean, Superbad is it's iconic.
I'm a huge Justin Long guy too. I feel like
Yeah,
Justin Long
he's
should be in
good.
more comedies because he's very funny.
And as much as I love Vince Vaughn, it's not like he's like playing the classic Vince Vaughn character in that.
A little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to the Justin Long was trying to go after the cheerleader, and the cheerleader's boyfriend, like, what is it? Something happens to him that
Fell off the roller
roller coaster, right? Yeah,
Broke
yeah.
all his bones. Boop.
Broke all his bones.
Boop, he's dead.
Tommy,
I said Superbad.
super bad,
Yeah, I gotta go super bad.
impossible,
Clean sweep.
clean sweep. So super bad versus Step Brothers to go into the finals.
That's
This is the
Uchi Mama.
This is to get into the final.
Just to get into the finals.
wow.
Super
See,
bad.
we did good for
This
us.
is the Miracle on Ice game. This is
Superbad.
Russia versus America. Right?
Yeah.
I think it's super bad.
You think?
I don't
it's-
think this is. I don't think this is necessarily the championship.
Well, this is the.
I know, but I think Robbie's saying.
I think
like,
it's I think it might be.
I don't think. I don't know.
What'd you
We'll
say?
see.
USA versus Russia.
I said this might be the championship.
Hey, little fun fact. That was not the championship.
That's the
what
point
he's
I'm making.
saying.
Oh,
Saying, like,
oh.
this is basically the championship. I'm saying I don't think this.
Like Alabama and UConn last year. Everybody knew
Pay
that was the
attention when we
championship.
podcast.
Shut up, Bob.
about that.
Bully.
one. One for super bad from Rico.
I think I might go Step Brothers.
Wow.
Yeah. It's almost kind of like what happened with the Nice Guys. I think Superbad is a really good movie as well. And I think if I'm thinking like of strict comedy, I kind of think it's Step Brothers first. Like Superbad's that's all not true, but the I think I'm gonna go Step Brothers.
So are we going to title this as funniest comedy?
Best. You think best or funniest would be better for this? I feel like we've been doing it based on.
I think best.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go Step Brothers. I'm with.
Best is still funniest though. So
Superbad is great. I do think it's gotten to a little bit of a point where people are just like they feel like they have to say it's like the best comedy of the 21st century. I think Step Brothers is funnier. It is more dumb humor for sure, like a dodgeball, but it's so funny.
I'm with you.
Step Brothers.
Boats and Hoes too. We didn't even talk about that. That maybe aged the worst, but it was so funny in the time. It was-
Prestige worldwide.
yeah. So 2 for Step Brothers, 1 for Superbad.
oh, Glenny.
Super bad, easy. I mean, I love Step Brothers, but Super bad's my number one. I mean, talking about how you didn't mention just Boats and Hosts, we haven't even mentioned the dick drawing scene.
Yeah.
We haven't even mentioned the dick drawing scene.
That's right.
I couldn't eat a popsicle.
I'm a Step Brothers.
You know how many
guy.
foods are shaped like dicks?
All the best foods.
I'm going Step Brothers. I've always just liked Step Brothers more. I think I didn't see Superbad when it came out. I guess that was the one fucking movie in existence that my parents decided I was too young for. So I saw that a few years later, and I think the experience of seeing Step Brothers in the theater when I was 10 was like, my world has changed.
So right now we are 3 for Step Brothers, 2 for Superbad. Marty.
Let's throw it to the.
Throw it to the room, 1 for
Oh, this is
Superbad.
big.
This is a humongous.
He's going to go.
David and Mia, you guys are in trouble right now if you fuck this up.
I don't know.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Mia said throw it to me. I'm throwing super bad. I'm not gonna lie. I loved super bad growing
said
up.
Superbad.
I loved it.
How
so
old are
much.
you?
21.
Fucking respect.
The kids are all right.
My brother had a hernia surgery. He told me the story. They like put him under, and the first thing he said when he woke up, and I guess I don't even know if he remembered this or they told him. He acts like the doctor. He woke up and he goes, "What's your favorite movie?" And the doctor was like, "What?" He goes, "What's your favorite movie?" And the doctor goes, "Superbad." My brother goes, "Fuck off." Yes, he goes, "Fuck off." That's
See, that's more realistic than DeMont Hamlin waking up and saying you won the game of life.
Before we get to the other half, let's talk about Factor. Warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up with Factor. No prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto. Their fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you always have time of the day to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. I legitimately don't understand how they taste so good. It's the science of it.
They're really, really good.
It makes no fucking sense how it tastes. 2 minutes on a microwave, it tastes like someone just made this meal right in front of you. It's insane. Treat yourself with restaurant quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Head to factormeals.com/LCB50 and use code LCB50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code LCB50 at factormeals.com/LCB50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. On the other side, first matchup is Borat versus The Hangover, going to Marty Mush.
Hangover has seriously like changed my life. You just want to hang out with the fellas, and you also realize you can never recreate anything they do. Like you think like it's so much they have a way better time than you actually ever had.
Really fucked Vegas for everybody.
It ruined Vegas, I do think.
Whenever I'm in Vegas, I walk around the casino floor and I think to myself, 90% of these people are going to wake up tomorrow and say, that was not that fun last night.
Yeah. It's like, I got to go home.
One for The Hangover.
Borat, everything we said about it before, iconic, revolutionary, the time it changed everything. I think Hangover is so much better as an actual movie. Like, if I just want to rewatch one or the other, I would rewatch The Hangover 1,000 times before I rewatch Borat.
2 for The Hangover.
Hangover.
Wow, this is going to go into a clean sweep.
Hangover for me too. It's going to be hard to beat it running.
That's respect how it felt. I think Rico's been the one vote on every other thing.
No, I think you can make a case like what Robbie kind of sold me, like which one would I rather watch. It's been a long time since I popped on Borat, but I judge comedies on the first watch because I do think that thing like Marty said, where we got in a phase, especially too, like before before you were on the internet all the time, people would just comment on movies and it would ruin it for a little while, or you would be like, whatever. I do think that Borat like got like that for a little bit with the quoting it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll give The Hangover a slight lean, but Borat was different. It was a different comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly just so much fun to say, my wife. It's so much fun.
That's literally what my roommate still says every time. I can't take it.
Every now and then when someone hits you with like a really good one, like a well-timed on Twitter and a quote tweet, whatever, some shit, it gets you. But either way, Hangover's going to move on. Now we have The Other Guys versus Anchorman.
The Other Guys versus Anchorman?
Anchorman, yeah.
Still haven't seen The Other Guys, so.
Not since we last did it.
Still haven't seen it.
So
Tried to get a little feed at 2x speed. It didn't work.
so one for Anchorman fights.
No, well, I guess.
Would you rather abstain? We could do an abstain,
because I don't love Anchorman.
sir.
This one's a tough one because I do love Anchorman. I think my heart wants to say Anchorman, so I'm gonna say it.
Wow, one for Anchorman.
It's hard. They're both really good, but I'm going to go The Other Guys because the quote unquote conflict stage of that movie like adds to the plot. I like it. I don't even remember who's doing drugs or
Something
whatever.
about the lottery. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
but that's
the lottery, whatever it was. Again, the end of
lose.
Anchorman takes me out of it a little bit. Other Guys, it's great.
Do you remember when he's talking to Steve Coogan's character and like he just keeps bribing them with like different gifts?
So funny.
Jersey Boy, you like Jersey Boys?
Describes Jersey
And
Boys?
It's like, yeah, we like Jersey Boys. And they're God damn, he did it again.
The song, the pageantry, what a musical! Like it's so fucking funny. The cucumber water with the lime or whatever. It's amazing. Glenny,
I'm not obsessed with either of these, but Other Guys.
the Other Guys, 2 for the Other Guys, 1 for Anchorman.
I'm with Glenny. I like The Other Guys a lot more than Anchorman. I'm not obsessed with it. I love the desk pop scene.
Yeah,
Your last desk pop.
Bobby Cannavale.
What's your gripe with The Other Guys?
I've honestly just never considered it to like be a top tier comedy. with,
Really?
like the Wedding Crashers and the old schools of the world.
Really?
I've just it's just never been my vibe of Other Guys.
I kind of agree.
I kind of agree too.
seeing that. Be
I think it's great, but like I don't.
Seeing
But
it
that
be
honestly
two
could
was
just be
stunning.
based on release time. Like that was like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
What do you go? Mark Wahlberg saying he learned how to do ballet to make fun of like the kids in school.
And I also do think the full blown action comedies kind of get swept under when they could be really funny. Like 21 Jump Street is hilarious, but I think I'm just thinking of it more as a
Like,
fun
I'm more of
movie.
a 21 Jump Street guy than I am an
I think they're very similar, obviously. Dude, buddy, whatever.
Bobby Fox, you're sticking with Other Guys.
Other Guys.
Other Guys is going to move on. Also, the security guard's taking his gun and they're like, they put some sort of linseed oil on it. They cleaned it up, the wooden one.
Yeah.
There's so many different moments in this. The Other Guys versus The Hangover to go into the finals, starting with you, Marty Mush.
This is a great final for me because these are my top 2, but I'm going The Other Guys. I love The Other Guys.
1 for The Other Guys.
Pretty easy hangover vote for me.
Pretty easy Hangover vote.
Massively easy hangover.
Wow, 2-1 in favor of The Hangover.
Easy Hangover.
Holy
You guys are Broussarded.
Fights.
Hangover.
Yes.
Hangover's gonna win.
My
but
top two. This is so
If you're
exciting.
not watching on YouTube, I flipped a coin for it. I flipped a Lucy for it.
You're just being fucking sick.
Rico, where'd you've gone?
I would have gone. I mean, I think Hangover is unbelievable. So
Yeah, and you still haven't seen the other guy since the last time you.
exactly.
We're gonna have to have you watch that.
All right. No. Yeah.
I do think you would like the other guys a lot.
I'd watch the other
Makes
guys.
sense of humor.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it.
And before we do our final, let's do our last ad of the day. Shout out to Roan Apparel, our boy Roan. It sucks finding shit to wear. We all know that. Sometimes we coming out of the closet, you look what I mean. These corduroy shorts, I've had to wear them too many times because all the other crap in my closet sometimes sucks. But men's closets were due for a radical reinvention, and Roan has stepped into the challenge. Roan's commuter collection is the most comfortable, breathable set of fabrics known to man, and here's why. They have products for every occasion, whatever you're going to. It doesn't matter, golf course, corner office, doesn't matter. They have quarter zips, polos, pants, dress shirts, all of it. Their four-way stretch fabric has breathability and flexibility that leaves you free to enjoy whatever life throws your way, from the commute to your, again, 18 holes of golf, whatever. It's time to feel confident without the hassle, and with Roan's wrinkle release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch, and they stretch as you wear the products. It's that easy. We love Roan here. The commuter collection can get you through any work day and straight to whatever comes next. Head to roan.com/bracket and use promo code bracket to save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you head to roan.com/bracket, RHONE.com/bracket, and use code bracket. It's time to find your corner office comfort. All right, big final right now. Rico, you're going to start out the vote. Superbad versus The Hangover. What is the funnier comedy from the 21st century?
I think because of the cleverness, I'm gonna go Superbad. I think there's layers to the jokes. I think that they're fucking. I think it's Superbad.
One for Superbad.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I did not want Superbad to win this because I tend to agree with Tommy that it's kind of just become reactionary to say it's the greatest. I love it. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it does win this bracket for me.
Another one for
I'm
Superbad.
going comfortably The Hangover.
Comfortably.
Comfortably. I think it's funnier. That's the main thing. I think, if we're talking the plot itself, I mean, yeah, I like the mystery aspect of, what happened to Doug? Yeah, for me, I mean, I didn't see Superbad in theaters, so maybe that does affect it a little bit. But yeah, seeing Hangover in theaters for the first time was...
I think that was the most worn costume with when he had the baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, that or McLovin.
I was Halloween, Alan for Halloween. He was Alan for Halloween.
Jackie Moon is up there though for a Halloween costume. Huh? Jackie Moon.
McLovin. A lot of people were McLovin too.
McLovin was a big one, yeah.
But yeah, I think, it's The Hangover. I got to get a new favorite movie. But
You don't, Tom. You don't.
You don't.
Oh, and
No,
yeah.
Hangover's a
Hangover's
good
awesome.
movie.
yourself.
all
When it
movies
came out, it was like the first time. Wasn't that the first time like a comedy came out in a long time that everyone liked?
probably since
At that-
Superbad-ish.
Probably like- probably-
Step Brothers was
Probably like since the 1 year before Step Brothers came out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Was it a year before? I don't
08
know.
to 09.
Sorry, I'm not autistic and know every date that comes out these movies.
That's like it's really just Tommy. Yeah, so 2-1 in favor of Superbad.
I'm thrilled about this. I mean, these are my top two. I've been saying this for me and you argue about this a lot, Bob. Funniest comedy and best comedy. I think best comedy ever Hangover. Funniest comedy ever Superbad. This is I think it's funniest comedy. I think, and I'm also straight up. I'm more of just a Seth Rogen guy than like a Zach Galifianakis humor person. So I'm just gonna go Superbad. And like you just said, layers jokes like immediately just popped in my brain when Joe Truglia picks up Seth and Evan. He's like, "You guys know a guy named Jimmy? You look a lot like his brother." And then half hour later, they bring that up. Jimmy's brother, the singer, like just shit like that. I love Superbad. It's fucking awesome.
3 for Superbad, 1 for The Hangover.
I might be going down with the ship here, but I'm more of a Hangover guy. I'm going with the Hangover.
Right now, again, Marty, you're gonna have to.
So I saw some cheering in the booth.
Ooh.
But I was gonna go Hangover. So
What were they cheering for?
for Hangover. So I think
Hangover.
Oh, we're getting thumbs up there too.
Oh my God, we are 3 to 3.
I think they're
to the
both-
booth. It looks
those
like
are-
Todd Phillips maybe getting the win.
Kenjac?
Unfortunately,
I don't like to. I would like to abstain from voting as long as I can. I'd much rather the booth take
does anyone have Pat's number?
Pat? Fuck, where's security Pat when we need him?
I do have his number.
Do you call him? Well, because if he doesn't answer, we'll go to because he's our guy that
He is our de facto
he ends the
tiebreaker.
championship every time.
While we are waiting for this call, let's say I have two movies that were not.
go run and grab.
I understand they're not the traditional comedies, but they're both in the realm 08 and 12, In Bruges and Seven Psychopaths.
Both amazing.
Oh, man,
In Bruges, I would
it's
say.
so
They're
good.
almost less comedies to me. And more
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
You're on the bracket right now. We need you once again to be our tiebreaker.
All right, go ahead.
All right, we're debating best comedy movie of the 21st century. We're in the championship game right now. We're tied up. Superbad versus The Hangover. Have you seen both?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Have you seen either?
Have you seen either?
I saw The Hangover.
You like it?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
All right, The Hangover.
That's all you needed. Hangover. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
That's how he every time. Yeah, that's it every time.
Yeah.
He never gives an explanation. Nothing. It's just it's good.
The Hangover one. Pat.
He hasn't seen Superbad, but I said, "Do you like The Hangover?" He goes, "Yeah, I like The Hangover."
So that's who we're winning. You know what? I like that because that kind of leaves it as a tie.
Yeah, in its own way. And
Booth would've went Hangover.
Booth was they were hooting and hollering about the fucking Hangover.
the winner of funniest movie or best comedy since the 21st century, The Hangover. Great pick. Be back next week with a brand new episode.